Chapter 176. Frieza, it was not my intention to destroy your planet Vegeta. Someone asked me to do this. After hearing this, all the Saiyans except Li Ziming were dumbfounded. Someone actually ordered Frieza to destroy the Saiyan race. Vegeta immediately rushed in front of him and grabbed Frieza's neck. Why do I not believe it? You are the Emperor of the universe, who can still order you around? It's true, cough cough cough, Frieza, never lie. Then you lied to me before, saying that planet Vegeta was destroyed by a meteorite. That's because I admire you and you can be my right-hand man in the future, so I kept you here. Otherwise, I would have killed you then. When Vegeta heard this, he also felt sick, and quickly let go of the hand that was pinching him, asking him to tell the truth. I can't tell you. Then I'll take you on your way. I really can't say. Frieza quickly explained why he didn't dare to say it, because once that person knew it, even if he wouldn't be killed by the Saiyans, he would be destroyed. Even if they were dozens of times stronger, they would probably not be a match for that person, whose next attack could destroy a galaxy. Seeing the panicked Frieza, Vegeta seemed particularly anxious. He really didn't expect that man to have such strength. You know, even after he transformed into a Super Saiyan, he might not be able to destroy a galaxy. Seeing this, Li Ziming asked Vegeta to calm down and told him that he knew who that person was. Hearing this, everyone present looked at him, and Frieza couldn't help but laugh. How could a little Saiyan know the existence of the god of destruction? The person you are talking about, does he like to eat delicious food? When Frieza heard this, his laughter stopped abruptly. No, it's not that person. Not only do I like to eat delicious food, I also like to sleep. And I can sleep for decades. When Frieza heard what Li Ziming said, he was confused. It made sense. Could it be that he really knew? Every time I wake up, I'm either destroying the planet or on my way to destroying it. At this moment, Frieza's face turned pale. He finally understood that Li Ziming really knew about the existence of the god of destruction. His life was obviously doomed. Li Ziming came in front of Frieza and spoke to him while smiling. I'm right, Frieza. How did you know that? You shouldn't know that. What do you care how I know? Now that my last words are over, it's time to send you on your way. Hearing this, Frieza was unwilling to surrender. Since he was no match for his opponent, he burst out with all his strength and retreated tactically. Frieza's muscles began to show, and his fighting power continued to rise. At this moment, he could exert 100% of his 120 million fighting power. But before he ran away, he saw a purple light appear in Li Ziming's hand. He felt like he had seen it somewhere. The next second, Li Ziming appeared in front of Frieza again, pointed his finger at his head, and said 2 words. Destroy. Frieza's neck disappeared in an instant, followed by his head. At this moment, Frieza finally understood where he seemed to have seen that purple light before. That was when he met the god of destruction Beerus, a power that belonged only to the god of destruction. As Frieza's consciousness disappeared, his head also successfully disappeared in this universe, but fortunately Li Ziming did not destroy his body. After all, he hasn't tasted the flavor of this frozen clan yet. Capture Frieza and earn 1,200,000 points. The Saiyans who saw this scene were also dumbfounded at this moment. Li Ziming actually had the power to kill Frieza in seconds. At that moment just now, everyone felt the power of death. If they touched it, they would become like Frieza. In the end, it was Wukong who stepped forward and asked Li Ziming curiously what that had just happened. This is another power of mine, called destruction. But you may not be able to comprehend this kind of power now. After saying that, Li Ziming put Frieza's body into the system backpack, ready to go back and prepare it to taste what it tasted like. Now that the crisis was resolved, Li Ziming simply took them back to the Temple of Heaven. Seeing the return of several people, the people of the Jinya force were stunned. The fact that these Saiyans came back alive meant that their king Frieza was dead. At this moment, they had a lot of thoughts. Finally chose to surrender. Please spare our lives, sir. We are willing to surrender. Krillin and the others immediately stopped and looked at Li Ziming not far away. Since the alien had stopped, should they still kill him? Then, Li Ziming also looked over here. As for the Jinya force, they followed Frieza to do all kinds of bad things and were obviously one of the bullies in this universe. Just kill them all. They are just some space villains who helped Frieza do a lot of things that destroyed the planet. When everyone in the Jinya force heard this, their faces turned green. Are they really going to be killed by them? How is that possible? Seeing this, Jinyu decided to give it a try and turned his bicycle into a motorcycle. Then he quickly took a look around and looked at the leader, Li Ziming. He immediately put his hand into his heart and shouted those two words. Exchange. A beam of light instantly rushed towards Li Ziming's body. Vegeta, who was standing by, instantly remembered Jinyu's ability and hurried forward to stop it but was a step too late. As soon as this ray of light appeared, the other members of the Jinyu force felt a glimmer of hope, and now they could survive. But what no one expected was that Li Ziming was still inside his body, while Jinyu's body gradually lost signs of life. The souls of the two were exchanged, but Jinyu's ability did not allow Li Ziming's soul to come out, and Jinyu's soul entered his body. When Jinyu opened his eyes, he came to a mysterious space and saw a golden Saiyan giant ape eating food on the ground. Sensing the commotion here, the golden giant ape slowly stood up and rushed towards Jinyu. Even if the gourmet demon came here, he would eat it. It was just a mere soul. It was too outrageous. Before Jinyu could figure out what was happening, he saw a bloody mouth rushing towards him, and the next second, Jinyu was bitten to death. It has a chicken flavor, is crunchy, and has several times the energy of other ingredients. Capture Jinyu and gain 1200 points. Swallow Jinyu and gain the ability to exchange. Chapter 177. After tasting the taste of Jinyu's soul, the Saiyan giant ape couldn't help but howl, then returned to the place where he was just now and started eating again. Li Ziming looked at the prompt from the system. Swallow Jinyu and gain the ability to exchange. Li Ziming was not happy at all when he saw this ability. After all, who would give up a Saiyan's body with unlimited potential for someone else's body? Although it can be used as a last-ditch counterattack, it is completely unnecessary given the current progress, unless the opponent is a god of destruction or something. But Li Ziming estimated that it was unlikely. After all, he could escape like this, but those gods or something like that would probably destroy him directly. When he came to his senses, Li Ziming was surrounded by the Z warriors. Seeing their anxious looks, he naturally knew what the reason was. Don't worry, he failed and was eaten by my food demon. Hearing this, the Z warriors breathed a sigh of relief, but they did not expect that the gourmet demon could devour other souls. Indeed, being able to eat is a blessing. Then, Li Ziming looked at the other members of the Jinyu force not far away. At this moment, their faces were as pale as death, as if they had seen the end of their own death. Facts have proved that what they thought was right. Li Ziming came directly to them and took them away one by one. After all, letting the tiger go back to the mountain is not his style. Of course, the most important thing is to kill Gerudo, his skills are too buggy. Kill Gerudo and get 120 points. Kill Likum and get 700 points. Kill Bart and get 450 points. Kill Jis and get 600 points. After killing all the members of the Jinyu force, Li Ziming felt relieved. Now the Jinyu force was wiped out and Frieza's legion was officially destroyed. But Li Ziming also knew that Frieza still had many subordinates, including a few loyal ones, who might resurrect him one day. I have to keep an eye on the Z warriors, to avoid their homes being robbed without them noticing when I'm not around. But now, the crisis has been resolved and it's time to have a party. After burying the bodies, Li Ziming took the Z warriors and teleported back to the Temple of Heaven, preparing for a unique feast, grilling Frieza. And just after they left, a figure appeared here and began to dig up the bodies here. After Li Ziming brought everyone back to the Temple of Heaven, he began to celebrate. For this purpose, he also brought Master Roshi, Bulma, Chi-Chi and others over to celebrate together. To this end, he also took out a lot of delicious food and placed it on the table as appetizers. Of course, most of them were cooked food, which he asked Tom to prepare. Afterwards, he also took out other ingredients, including marbled beef, cumin lamb and other meats, and put them aside. Take out a large grill pan and prepare to have some barbecue. Life is a skewer, you deserve it. Most importantly, Li Ziming prepared charcoal grilled Frieza. After all, high-end ingredients often only require simple cooking methods. Although he could eat it raw, he still felt that it was not good enough. After all, he was King Frieza, so he had to give him face and leave him a way out so that they could meet again in the future. Since we meet again, let's eat together again. But the prerequisite is that he tastes good this time. He asked the Z warriors to come over and help with skewering and grilling, while Li Ziming came to the side and after briefly cleaning Frieza, he chopped him into pieces. Vegeta, who saw this scene, became excited at the moment. Although they had little food when invading other planets, they would also eat some aliens to replenish their energy. But most of them were extremely unpalatable, and they would spit out every bite they ate. But they had never eaten an ice creature like Frieza, so they were naturally looking forward to the taste. When the other Scions saw this scene, they also came over. After all, for them, as long as it was edible, they had to try it. After Ziming discovered this, he also started to bake it slowly, brushing it with oil and baking it slowly. But while he was grilling, Vegeta asked him a key question: who was that person that Frieza was talking about, and who was it that wanted to kill all of them Scions? After hearing this, Ziming also looked at Vegeta. That person is called Beerus. You must have seen him when you were a child. Ha! Think carefully. There was a time when King Vegeta asked all the Scions to go into the universe and find a pillow. Remember? When Vegeta heard this, his sealed memories were finally unlocked. When he was a child, he encountered the scene of Beerus. That day, when he came back from the training ground, he saw King Vegeta kneeling on the ground, bowing his head and surrendering to a purple cat, and was severely humiliated by the other party. He couldn't stand it, so he rushed out and wanted to help King Vegeta, but was frightened to the ground by Beerus's look and could only watch Beerus continue to humiliate his father. When Beerus left, King Vegeta said to him that this was the most untouchable existence in the entire universe, the god of destruction. But later, because what happened that day was too exciting, Vegeta subconsciously forgot about it. God of destruction, Beerus. When Ziming heard Vegeta, he couldn't help but look at him. Now he really remembered. That god of destruction Beerus, why did he want to destroy us Scions? He is a god, he has no grudges. After hearing what Vegeta said, Ziming was speechless. He remembered it, but only half of it. Remember we were asked to look for the pillow? It was Beerus who asked King Vegeta to find it, and finally we Scions found it. But your daddy took the number 1 pillow in the universe for himself and gave the number 2 to Beerus. This action directly angered him. King Vegeta simply can't afford the cost of angering a god. Besides, the food on planet Vegeta isn't that tasty. Beerus just likes to eat delicious food. Pillows and other things are secondary. If the meal is delicious and he can save face, Beerus might forgive him. But what happened? You know, he's a god, but he has no pillow, no delicious food, and no face. This is why the Scions were destroyed. Do you understand? Applause. Vegeta's brain has crashed at this moment. If that's the case, then his father is really a spendthrift, and a big spendthrift at that. He knows that he can't afford to offend the other party, but he still has to provoke the other party. He is simply courting death. And it's not just this matter, there's also the legendary Super Saiyan matter. He did a terrible job on this and that. If I had known this, I would have kicked him off the stage. King Vegeta, you are so smart. Ziming saw Vegeta in deep thought and shook his head, then looked at the grilled Frieza seriously. Soon the fragrance came out. Am I considered the first author of the Charcoal Grill King in online literature? I feel like I made history. On the one hand, it surpassed the number of words in the previous book, and on the other hand, it ate King Frieza. 3 updates, please give me some free gifts, it's another day of staying up late. Chapter 178. The sky is blue. Here is Frieza. And it's charcoal grilled. The charming aroma of meat wafted in the air, and everyone present drooled with emotion after smelling it. When Ziming saw the golden and crispy Frieza in front of him, he felt hungry. On the one hand, he was proud of his revenge, and on the other hand, this was Frieza after training. Want to know more about Golden Frieza? Thank you Frieza, I'm going to start. Ziming was the first to cut a piece of meat and put it in his mouth to taste it. The moment he took a bite, he could taste the golden and crispy shell with a crackling sound. Next comes the chewy meat, which feels a bit like eating tendon. The fat content is very low, but there is also the aroma of oil. It tastes like lean meat when you put it in your mouth. With every chew, you can feel the chewy and crunchy texture. It is fun and delicious. But on the other hand, probably only Scions and people with gourmet cells can eat it. On the one hand it is a dental problem, and on the other hand it is because other people cannot digest it. In a word, the king's food tastes great. But Ziming feels that it is still a little bit lacking. Although it tastes good, it is still far behind the delicacies in the food world. If only King Frieza had gourmet cells, then his body would become even more delicious. After thinking about it, Li Ziming felt that there was still a chance, but it would take 10 or 20 years. After all, Beerus would wake up and the tournament of power would be held by then. Maybe Frieza will turn his enemy into a friend, but by then, it will be too late to eat him. I have to think of a way to see if I can eat Frieza again. After all, the taste of food with gourmet cells and food without gourmet cells is very different. When Li Ziming came to his senses, he saw that everyone present was looking at him, drooling, showing how greedy they were. Upon seeing this, Li Ziming quickly cut some meat and passed it to others to taste. After all, this was a hard-to-get ingredient. After everyone took it, they started to eat it with relish. After eating, they all looked very happy. The taste was naturally very good. Soon, the golden and crispy Frieza was gradually eaten by everyone, and the king could die without regrets. But after a while, everyone felt that their strength had increased, and those with gourmet cells found that power was constantly surging. I think this is the effect of eating Frieza. After all, he is the emperor of the universe with a combat power of 100 million. Although he doesn't have gourmet cells, he also contains a lot of energy. After all, Li Ziming had given him a magic bean, so his body was already in its most perfect state, and the energy naturally remained in his body. Those who don't have gourmet cells eat less, but those who have gourmet cells eat a lot. Now, everyone's strength will continue to improve. Soon, Li Ziming saw the combat effectiveness of others. The Z warriors only ate a few pieces, but their combat effectiveness increased by tens of thousands, while the Saiyans ate the most, and their combat effectiveness increased by millions, doubling their normal strength. As for the others, they just ate a small piece and tasted it a little. The improvement was not much, but it was still a rise of several hundred. As for Li Ziming, he also ate a lot. Since the other contestants ate a lot, his strength doubled directly, and his normal combat power suddenly reached more than 20 million. After transforming into Super Saiyan 1, his combat power can be around 2 billion. When his normal combat power reaches 100 million, he can almost transform into Super Saiyan 2. After all, only when your normal strength becomes stronger and stronger, you will become stronger after the transformation, and you will be able to comprehend the realm of God better. To be honest, Frieza is indeed a great tonic. Li Ziming remembered that there were still 2 such frozen groups, but he was not in a hurry. According to the plot, he might see them coming over on their own initiative. Your takeaway has arrived again, remember to give a good review. Soon, everyone's strength gradually stabilized. After all, it was a tonic. As long as they could keep it stable, that was their own strength. Next, it was time for the real banquet. After all, the ingredients Li Ziming brought out were all delicious. The barbecue party was officially opened in the Temple of Heaven to celebrate the Earth's escape from crisis. Today is another day full of hope. Just as everyone was celebrating, a flash of light appeared in a mountain on Earth, and a high-tech machine appeared out of thin air. Through the moonlight, it could be clearly seen that there was a round object inside, which seemed to be the shell of some creature. Get up in the morning, embrace the sun, and let your body be filled with brilliant sunshine. It was 3 o'clock in the morning. After getting up from the Temple of Heaven, Li Ziming glanced at the others. They were all still sleeping. Without the threat of Frieza, everyone became a little lazy. But it's okay to be a little lazy. After all, people can't always be tense. They have to learn to relax in order to improve themselves. Li Ziming glanced at his backpack. The spaceship had not yet been delivered to Bulma, so he decided to go over there. And there are not many magic beans left now. It seems I have to go find the cat immortal. I just don't know how many he has bred. After saying that, Li Ziming jumped down from the Temple of Heaven and flew downwards. Not long after, he arrived at the cat immortal's side. He saw that at this moment, the Kalin temple was full of greenery. Apparently, in order to have something to eat, the cat fairies started dividing the magic beans, and you can see magic bean seedlings everywhere. At this moment, the cat fairy who was watering the plants also saw Li Ziming. His eyes suddenly lit up and he ran towards him. You're here, Li Ziming. I'm here, cat immortal, how have you been lately? It's okay, but I've already eaten all that fish. Afterwards, the cat fairy told Li Ziming about his breeding of magic beans, and said that as long as he gave himself time, he would definitely get a lot of magic beans in the future. The current senzu beans can be used by him to stimulate the growth of seedlings, and the seedlings in the surrounding pots are all future senzu beans. Hearing this, Li Ziming also became excited. He thought that the cat fairy could expand its scale, but he didn't expect it to expand so much. Wouldn't that mean he could get more senzu beans in the future and never lack them? At this moment, Li Ziming looked at the cat immortal as if he saw a real god. Li Ziming then took out a large amount of seafood and placed it on the Kalin tower. Seeing the cat fairy, his mouth was drooling. What are you doing? Of course they are for you, cat fairy. You have worked hard to breed fairy beans. These are for you. Just consider them as a deposit for future fairy beans. Okay, I'll keep all these senzu beans for you. Seeing the seafood in front of him, the cat immortal immediately became happy and started to eat it with big mouthfuls. It had to be delicious fish. After seeing this scene, Li Ziming also said goodbye to the cat hermit. Now that he knew the progress of the senzu beans, it was time to go find Bulma, as there was also a spaceship for her to research. Chapter 179. After jumping off Karin Tower, Li Ziming flew towards Bulma's house. He originally wanted to use instant teleportation, but he wanted to see what the city looked like now. After all, there will be many enemies in the future. If the people on Earth can survive, it is better not to die. Dragon Balls are not that useful. The best scenario is for all the people to vigorously develop science and technology and military power to cope with future crises and at least save their own lives. Not long after, Li Ziming flew into the city. Seeing the residents of this city, Li Ziming couldn't help but sigh at the setting of the earth. Not only are there all kinds of people, but there are also all kinds of mixed-race aliens. It's simply a hodgepodge. And the king is hereditary. That's right, there is no president, only a king. We can let Wukong go back and, with his heroic status, he should be able to make the king understand the crisis in outer space and what may happen in the future. Soon, Li Ziming arrived at Bulma's home. The moment he arrived in the city, he saw a super large yard right in the middle of the city. After coming down, he also saw a familiar person, Mrs. Brief, watering the flowers in the garden. She was also very surprised to see Li Ziming appear, but she quickly remembered his identity. Ah, it's Li Ziming. He's handsome again. He's here to look for Bulma. Yes, Mrs. Brief. Oh ho ho, follow me. With that, Mrs. Brief took Li Ziming and walked towards the laboratory, talking about Bulma's recent events as they walked. After a brief exchange, he learned that Bulma had broken up with Yamcha. After hearing this, Li Ziming was also surprised at the situation. They broke up so quickly. Although it was destined, it was still a pity. After all, there was a time when the two of them were a couple that countless people envied. Unfortunately, things did not go as they wished, so it is better to end it as soon as possible. Soon, they arrived at the laboratory and saw Dr. Brief and Bulma studying alien technology, seemingly learning the knowledge in it. Li Ziming couldn't help but sigh upon seeing this. The two were really talented, especially Bulma. In just over 20 years, she had surpassed Dr. Brief. Okay, stop studying, Li Ziming is here. Upon hearing this, Dr. Brief and Bulma raised their heads, and were very happy to see Li Ziming coming. Li Ziming, why are you here? Didn't we defeat Frieza before? I'm here to give you his spaceship so you can study it. Hearing this, the two were also very excited. After all, both father and daughter were very interested in alien technology. They had studied the Saiyan spacecraft for a while before, and now there was more advanced technology. It made them happy just thinking about it. Take it out and let me see what it looks like. This place is too small, that spaceship is really big. When Bulma heard this, she became more excited, and together with her father, she brought Li Ziming to a very large space and took the elevator down. I didn't expect that there was a different world under Bulma's house. I guess she has learned some alien technology. Weapons and the prototypes of spaceships can be clearly seen around. Seeing such a large space, Li Ziming took out Frieza's spaceship, which immediately occupied 2/3 of the entire space. Bulma was also very excited to see such a huge spaceship. The larger the spaceship, the higher the technological content, and there were a lot of technologies on it. Li Ziming saw Bulma so excited and spoke to her. I remember there was a device inside that could heal injuries. I think the liquid inside is very valuable. You can study it. Maybe in the future, there will be no more diseases on Earth. When Bulma heard this, she nodded excitedly, called her father and took a wrench, and rushed towards the spaceship excitedly. Seeing her like this, she was like a child who had just got a toy. There is no way, because the technology on Earth is too backward. But relatively speaking, it is not that backward. After all, you never know how many things on Earth you don't know. Who still remembers that Dragon Ball is a comedy anime? Seeing the father and daughter start to study, Li Ziming said goodbye to Mrs. Brief and left. After returning to the Temple of Heaven, Li Ziming also sat on the rooftop and drank sweet cola. He thought about it and realized that the chapter of the Dragon Ball world was almost over now, and the next chapter would be the Android chapter, but it would still take several years before it officially began, so there was no need to rush. After all, there's no use in being anxious. On the other side, in the world of food, after Toriko caught the shiny silk fish, he began to practice the ethics of food seriously under his own guidance, and then looked for the location of Shilin Temple. I guess now is the time to go find the wrestling fortune teller, monkey. Li Ziming didn't plan to join in either, so he let Toriko and Komatsu slowly look for ingredients. Although there were some ingredients missing, with the combined food luck of the two of them, they would definitely be able to find suitable ingredients. Anyway, it's still a long way to go before God appears, so there's no need to rush. Now, after killing Frieza, I have obtained a lot of points. It is time to upgrade the system space. I can upgrade it directly from a luxury backpack to a small world. Master System, upgrade the system backpack to a small world. Points, 10,000 large backpack, 100 cubic meters, deluxe backpack, 1,000 cubic meters, points, 1 million luxury backpack, 1,000 cubic meters, small world, 10,000 cubic meters, small world, you can enter it at any time and control everything inside. When Li Ziming noticed this, he was instantly heartbroken. 2/3 of his points disappeared in an instant. All the points he gained from defeating Frieza were given up in an instant. But fortunately, I got a small portable world. Not only is the space very large and can store more food and delicacies, but I also became a god inside and can freely control everything inside. It seems like it's time to go back to the world of gourmet food, find some plants and creatures, place them in my own world, and create a similar little gourmet world. After saying that, Li Ziming sensed it a little and then entered the small world to check the situation inside. But as he entered, he was surprised to find that it was pitch black inside and there was nothing. Did he have to capture a hot planet to serve as the sun of this world? But at this moment, he suddenly thought of the introduction of the small world. In it, he was a god. I say, let there be light. I'm sorry everyone, I found that I have the ability to write 3 watches a day, but the corresponding thing is staying up late and having an irregular life. Plus, the performance of this book is average. As a full-time writer, it is still a bit poor, so I'd better return to 2 updates a day. This way, my daily routine can be more regular, so I can prepare for the next book. But don't worry, this book will not be finished, because my goal is 1 million. Chapter 180. I said, let there be light. When Li Ziming finished saying this, the small world suddenly became brighter, and all he could see was nothingness. He could only see the ingredients he had placed there before. After seeing this scene, Li Ziming was speechless. There was really nothing. However, being a creator god was also quite good. He could see how he could change this situation. Moreover, Li Ziming felt that if he could create this place well, perhaps his own creative rules would be fruitful. As he spoke, he, the legendary god, began to create. I say, there must be air. In a flash, air appeared out of thin air and began to spread to every corner of the small world. At this moment, Li Ziming suddenly thought of Acacia's kitchen. The island was very nice. Originally, I wanted to go there and take that place into my possession, but now that I can create the world myself, there is no need for that. Then, he began to build the land and ocean according to the appearance of the island. I say there must be oceans and land and forests and trees. Countless sea water appeared in an instant and began to spread into the small world, and a huge island appeared in this ocean. On the island, there are forests, mountains, volcanoes, grasslands, snow-capped mountains, deserts, and many rivers and lakes. Seeing this scene, Li Ziming was also very satisfied. This place barely had a breath of life. The next step is to see if he can create ingredients for the gourmet world. When he came to the ocean, Li Ziming wanted to start from the origin of life and create some life. I said, life will be born in water. The next moment, Li Ziming could feel that there was something new in the ocean. He picked up a ball of seawater and looked at it, and there were traces of single-celled organisms in it. Li Ziming was very happy to see their existence. Next, it depends on whether he can create gourmet cells. Afterwards, Li Ziming began to comprehend the laws of creation and started to gather gourmet cells, but for some reason, he kept failing. After thinking about it, Li Ziming felt that it was a problem of the rules. Perhaps his understanding was still low and he was unable to create an existence with such a high upper limit. There are only two ways now. Either speed up the time in the small world, which may gradually give birth to other life, or inject gourmet cells yourself, but I don't have them yet. No, yes. Li Ziming looked at the ingredients he had bought from Tom before, as well as other ingredients, all of which contained gourmet cells. Why don't you do two things at once? If you can't create gourmet cells, then just introduce them. After all, this is how the earth of the food world came into being. Not only has it become much larger, but it is also being continuously cooked. Who knows, there might even be 8 major ingredients. Li Ziming did what he said and directly asked the system to send him back to the world of food. First stop, Vegetable Paradise. After returning to the world of food, Li Ziming took off directly. Looking at this vibrant scene, he was thinking whether to take it away directly or take half of it. After thinking about it, I decided to just take some away, so that the vegetable paradise can slowly recover and it won't have any impact on the ecology here. Li Ziming did it right away. He directly divided part of the vegetable sky and placed it in the sky of the small world. Of course, he also pulled away some of the ozone grass. If we divide up some of the vegetable paradise, then we also need to get some of their important nutrients. The second stop is the continent of Wu, the jungle of Wu, and the volcano of Wu. All three are indispensable. Li Ziming then flew downwards. After all, the vegetable sky was not far from the Wu continent. Coming here, Li Ziming looked at the continuously growing Wu continent. It seemed that there was no harm in taking some away. Anyway, it would probably not take long for it to grow again. After that, Li Ziming began to operate, directly removing 1/3 of the Wu jungle from the plate, putting it into the system space, and placing it in the forest area. Of course, in this forest, there are not only various kinds of ferocious beasts, but also BB corn. After finishing all this, Li Ziming teleported back to Shilin Temple. There is still the bubble path here, so he must get some soap bubble fruit. Li Ziming then found Master Zhen Zhen and told him his idea. When Master Zhen Zhen heard that he wanted to transplant some soap bubble fruits, he lowered his head and thought about something in silence, but then the master agreed. On the one hand, Li Ziming is one of us, and on the other hand, we can keep a backup plan in case of any accidents. Li Ziming was naturally very happy to hear the master's agreement. It seemed that he would have plenty of soap bubble fruits to eat in the future. Afterwards, he returned to the foam path. In order to avoid affecting those who came to practice food righteousness, Li Ziming flew inside. Soon, he arrived at the place where he realized the meaning of food. But Li Ziming was at a loss as to how to dig it out. However, since the soap bubble fruit can sense the meaning of food in one's heart, it should also be able to sense one's own thoughts. Li Ziming then sent out his thoughts towards the bubble path, and at the same time, he seemed to hear the voice of the bubble path. Countless bubbles floated up and flew towards him. Seeing this, Li Ziming immediately collected them, put them into the small world, and then found a secret place to place them. He kept collecting, and when he could clearly see the figure of Bubble Dao in the small world, Li Ziming stopped. This time, I really made a fortune. Although it is countless times less than the bubble here, I believe that as long as I have enough time, I can make it the same as here. Now that we have the soap bubble fruit, it's time to go to the ice continent. After all, there's a lot of ice there, which is just right for preserving our ingredients. I will build a food showcase later and maybe I can make my own century-old soup. Li Ziming started to sense things right away. After a while, he sensed a familiar presence. When he looked over, he found that they were Xiao's parents. Then he sensed that there were no traces of humans here, only the ice sculptures of the gourmet hunters that appeared last time. In this case, Li Ziming simply placed the entire ice continent into the small world. After all, the ice continent only served as a refrigerator in this world. If they are all refrigerators, it would be better to make them your own refrigerator. By the way, let Xiao meet his parents. Chapter 181. After placing the ice continent into the small world, Li Ziming began to sense the location of Komatsu, but soon he found that it was not in the hotel or at home, only Xiao, a penguin, was there. So he came to Xiao and saw it lying at home watching TV. Li Ziming was very surprised that Xiaohu could do this. When Xiaohu saw Li Ziming coming, he immediately rushed over and called out yo 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 as if he was telling something. What, Komatsu and Toriko are going to catch ingredients without you? Yo yo yo. Alright, be good, I'll take you to find them, okay? I just happen to have a surprise for you. Hello. Seeing the confused Xiaohu, Li Ziming also laughed. Xiaohu was indeed adorable, so cute. After saying that, Li Ziming picked up Xiaohu, and then entered the small world, came to the ice continent, and met his parents. When Xiaohu saw his parents, he immediately jumped out of Li Ziming's arms and ran towards his parents. The wall penguins were also very happy to see Xiaohu. After all, they hadn't seen their children for a long time, so they were naturally very happy to see them. They communicated with each other and told each other what had happened, but while the family of three was talking, Xiaohu was suddenly shocked. Yo 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 yo. Seeing this scene, Li Ziming was also curious. When he came over to listen, he couldn't help but be surprised. It was not because of anything else, but because Xiaohu was going to be a big brother. This is great news. Li Ziming also looked at Xiaohu's mother, and sure enough, he really found the breath of life in her body. This penguin father was really quick, it had only been a short time. Xiaohu also reacted at this moment, and shouted happily, yo yo yo, he was very happy, after all, he was going to be a brother. Li Ziming then took the food from the small world and placed it in front of the mother penguin. She had to eat well when she was pregnant. Ga 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 ga. Let Xiaohu go and eat with his parents, and Li Ziming looked at the ingredients bought from Tom and gave some to the penguins. As for the others, they, under the identity of God in this small world, transformed it into the most primitive gourmet energy, and then integrated it into the small world. As for whether the small world can be turned into a food world, it depends on this wave. But soon Li Ziming sensed that some changes had indeed taken place in the small world. The changes were very subtle, but they had indeed taken place. After thinking about it, Li Ziming discovered the reason. It was because there were too few gourmet cells. Although he didn't know how many gourmet cells Blue Netero had injected into the earth, it must be a lot. And after billions of years of evolution, there must be more and more. As for myself, it is definitely not enough. But at least it gave Li Ziming hope, but the amount of ingredients needed was huge. Then Li Ziming stepped out of his little world and prepared to tell Komatsu and Toriko that Xiaohu was his brother and share the good news. As he spoke, Li Ziming took out his cell phone and called Komatsu. They were both the same model of phones, so the call was connected quickly. Moshi Moshi, Komatsu, where have you been? Mr. Li Ziming, Toriko and I are on the train. We are going to the food casino to look for some ingredients. Hearing this, Li Ziming was also very puzzled. He had clearly directed them to go to Shilin Temple first, so why did they go to the food casino? Could it be because of the ingredients? That's indeed possible. At this moment, Li Ziming's eyes lit up. If you were to ask where the most food ingredients were, one would be the Central Food Wholesale Market, and the other would be the food casino. After all, who would pay by credit card when you can get it for free? Wait for me, I'll be there soon. After that, Li Ziming expanded his perception range and began to look for the two people. It took a long time to find their aura. They were really on the train, but there were only Toriko and Komatsu. However, he still found Coco's aura, but not with them. Instead, he was in the kingdom of Jeetal, and there were a few familiar people there. If nothing unexpected happens, it will probably be Maki and his three younger brothers. Li Ziming teleported directly over, and the next second, he appeared on the train and sat opposite Toriko and Komatsu. Me, Toriko, Komatsu. Dig it out, it's so scary, Mr. Li Ziming. Ziming, how come I haven't seen you for a few days? I feel like you've become stronger again. Did you eat something good? Of course, I forgot to bring you some. I'll treat you next time I have the chance. After the three of them talked for a few sentences, Li Ziming also asked about the reason why they came here. Hearing his question, Toriko looked at him resentfully. It turned out that ever since Li Ziming told Toriko about the effect of learning Shime, Toriko started looking for the location of Shilin Temple, but he couldn't find it, so he could only look for Chef Monk. But now, he has just started to collect ingredients. In the absence of the super stinky durian, Monkey's divination sushi roll still lacks a lot of ingredients. Toriko also went to Coco for divination to find out where the suitable ingredients were. Unexpectedly, after hearing this, Coco also did divination for him. There are some at the Gourmet Casino, and there are a lot of them. He saw that as long as Toriko came over, not only would her strength become stronger, but her gourmet cells would also be activated. More importantly, the ingredients for Toriko's training were also among them. With 3 approaches working together, Coco happened to be there too. Toriko was immediately attracted, so she pulled Komatsu over. After listening, Ziming also waved his hand and said, "This is all practice, Toriko, so dry. Cut. So how did you get here? I wanted you to take us there, but I couldn't get through to you on the phone. There must be something wrong if the connection is working, because they are not in the same world." Then Ziming just passed over the matter and gave a brief explanation, and then talked about Xiaohu's mother, the penguin, being pregnant. Really? Really, really? After hearing the good news, Komatsu and Toriko were very happy for it, on the one hand because wall penguins are an endangered species, and on the other hand because they are Xiaohu's parents. Ziming then asked the two to pack up simply. Since they were already here, why did they need to take a train? They just left directly. The two were stunned for a moment, then thought that Coco was still waiting for them at the station. After putting away the wine and food on the table, Ziming took the 2 of them away. In the blink of an eye, the 3 of them appeared beside Coco. Coco noticed something unusual and immediately turned his head to look behind him. Seeing them, he was relieved. After all, this city was a sin city. If he was not careful, even he could die. "Ziming, why are you here too? Where have you been recently? Come and see them off, and stop by the food casino to get some ingredients. My condition is better now, but I still can't delay. I will update you once I get back to my normal routine. Ask for free gifts, heart. There is nothing to do after the casino, and you can start a new world. You can take a guess." Chapter 182. Arriving at the Kingdom of Tal, Ziming looked around and saw that everything around him was extremely dilapidated, but there were still shadows of a modern city. "I think most of the money is gathered in the food casino. After all, everyone wants to try to turn a bicycle into a motorcycle. But there is no such justice in the casino, especially the boss of the Gourmet Casino, Libera." After that, the 4 of them prepared to walk out of the station and go to the food casino. Ziming was also ready to taste the flavor of the food gold coins. But at this moment, a group of food robbers blocked their way. "Brother, lend me some money to spend. Stop talking nonsense, take off everything you have on you." As he spoke, one of the thugs pulled out a pistol and pointed it at the 4 people threateningly. After seeing this scene, Ziming didn't mind. After all, there would always be food robbers in this place at all times. This is Vice City. On the contrary, Toriko was extremely excited. He just realized that even though he was one of the 4 heavenly kings of gourmet food, he would be robbed one day. "Ah hey, I'm threatened now, Ziming Coco Komatsu, this is so exciting." Ziming and the other 2 were all confused when they saw how shy Toriko was. Although it was the first time for them to be threatened by these thugs, they were not as excited as Toriko. But this may not be the first time. The last time, the puffer whale was asked by Zombie to drink on the food train. "I just don't know where Mr. Zonka is developing now." Zonkai, who was playing Rhapsody at the moment, yawned immediately, "Who is talking about me?" After coming to their senses, the gangsters realized that their threats were useless and became very angry. "Since the robbery failed, I'll just kill him. The property belongs to me anyway. Go to hell, you 4. Bang! The gangster shot at Toriko, but the next second, he was scared to death when he saw that he was intact. It was not because of anything else, but because the bullet was caught by Toriko and got stuck in her hand. Catching a bullet with your fingers, how is that possible? WC, the fire cloud evil god is reborn. Who the hell are you? We are gourmet hunters. Remember my name, Toriko Day, one of the 4 heavenly kings of gourmet. Toriko threatened them and the gangsters were so scared that they ran away without looking back. But one thing fell down, that was the gun in the gangster's hand. Ziming took a look at it and thought it was not bad, a Desert Eagle, a good gun. As he spoke, Ziming started to play with it. Although in this world of gourmet food, guns were not very powerful, they could still be used as toys. It seems you like guns very much. Of course, what boy hasn't dreamed of owning a gun? 2. The four of them then walked towards the food casino, and on the way, they chatted about the city. Of course, you also have to be careful around you, as abnormal situations may suddenly occur. After all, this is not an IGO member country, so it is still easy for something to go wrong. Soon, they arrived at the food market, where there were all kinds of food, not only poisoned puffer whales, but also various other foods, but basically all of them were poisoned. Moreover, these things are not allowed to be circulated in IGO, and are brought here by these people to be sold. Of course, you should also be careful about other things. For example, some special anesthetic ingredients. Hey little brother, do you want some candy? It's delicious and cheap. At this time, Komatsu was stopped by an old woman, who opened a few star-like candies in her hands. Komatsu saw the pitiful look on the old woman's face and was about to pay for a few pills when Ziming spotted him and called him back. That was a close call, Komatsu. If it had been any later, you would have become an addict. Ha! That's not just any food, it's poison, it's a narcotic food. It was once the root cause of a country's demise. If you take a bite, you'll be addicted. It was a close call, I almost got that done. After experiencing this incident, Komatsu immediately became prepared to avoid encountering the same thing again. After all, anesthetic ingredients must not be touched. This is everyone's bottom line. Regardless of whether one has resistance or not, Ziming has no intention of eating it anyway. But they couldn't just let them go like this. As Ziming was talking about these dealers, he cast an illusion and the people around who were selling narcotic ingredients fainted instantly. Black flames also ignited on the anesthetic ingredients. The next second, many anesthetic ingredients were burned to ashes by Amaterasu. The light of righteousness. Fortunately, it was not leaves, otherwise the burning smoke might make everyone on the street excited. Seeing this scene, everyone else was frightened. No one knew what was going on, and they all fled in all directions. Seeing this, Coco also looked at Ziming. His electromagnetic waves seemed to have changed just now. But at this moment, someone saw the scene here and saw the existence of the four of them. Excited, he immediately came to the four people. Brother Ziming, Brother Toriko, Mr. Coco, Chef Komatsu, long time no see. The four of them turned around and saw him in a suit and tie. He looked very familiar. Wasn't he Maki's little brother? Hey, long time no see, why are you here too, where's Maki? Mr. March is on another street. We are looking for anesthetic ingredients. Some have recently flowed into our village. So come and check it out in advance. Hearing this, Ziming also remembered that this place was very close to the village that Maki mentioned. It seems that he could give some of the ingredients to them after getting them back. We're going to the food casino. Ask Maki if she wants to go. When I heard this, I immediately called team leader Maki. After a conversation, I immediately gave a reply. Brother Maki said we can go, he and his brothers are waiting for us at the food casino. Okay, let's go over there. With that, the five of them continued on their way and walked towards a place not far away. Soon, they saw more and more modern buildings around them. Soon, they arrived here and saw the magnificent food casino. It was extremely luxurious, as if everything in the kingdom of Jill was used in this place. The food casino here not only has super rare ingredients, but also many illegal ingredients. The way to obtain them is very simple, that is, to gamble in it and win prizes or money. It is said that people from all directions come here to gamble every day, and the daily circulation of food and money can reach about 100 trillion. This is a food casino, it's so pretty. Said, let's start the showdown. Gourmet gold coins, here I come. Chapter 183. After successfully arriving at the gourmet casino, Ziming and his friends also saw Maki and his younger brothers waiting for them at the door. Seeing the five people appear, Maki also came over with his brothers, with a smile on his face. Ziming, Toriko, Coco, Chef Komatsu, long time no see. The century soup you made is very popular in the village. The children love it very much. Thanks for the compliment. I can cook anytime. Just tell me if you want to drink. Maki also smiled when she heard Komatsu's answer. Then he looked at Ziming, Toriko and Coco, and immediately understood the purpose of their coming to the gourmet casino. They must be here to gamble for the rare food prizes. These are extremely rare ingredients, otherwise they would definitely not come here. You must be here for the rare ingredients. It seems that only the VIP area of the food and casino is worthy of your attention. Well, I'm here to look for meteorite garlic. I heard that the gourmet casino has it. Maki was also very surprised when she heard about meteorite garlic. That is an extremely rare ingredient, but maybe it could be found in the food casino. But you need to get into the VIP area, and now with the arrival of Li Ziming and others, it seems you can do me a favor. It seems that our goals are similar. We both need to enter the VIP area. How about we go together? Sure. When Li Ziming saw Maki getting serious, he naturally understood why they came here. It must be for the anesthetic ingredients. Although they are a food mafia, their purpose is not to circulate narcotic ingredients, but to destroy them. After all, some of them have already leaked out. What Maki and the others can do is, of course, to destroy the source, which is naturally this food casino, followed by the chef of the underground culinary world, who is also the jailer here, Libera. Li Ziming felt that he could help him. After all, he also hated anesthetic ingredients. It was a pity for Libera. He used to be a good cook, but ended up falling into depravity. Later on, he couldn't cook much or eat much anymore. He only ate the delicacies imagined by others. Let's take a look. If you want to kill them all, then kill them. If you don't want to kill them, then you don't have to. After all, he is more valuable alive than dead. Soon, a large group of them walked into the gourmet casino, the entrance to this maze of desire. Everyone in the crowd around had a condescending look on their face, as if they were sure of winning. I guess they were all nobles or businessmen from various countries. I just don't know how many people can make it out alive, or if no one can make it out alive. Soon, they walked into the food casino, where they saw various slot machines, dice, landlords, and other gambling areas everywhere. Deal cards, open the cards, shuffle the cards, and stack the cards. Failure, do you know why you failed? I really feel sad for you. The moment Li Ziming and his group arrived at the gourmet casino, the surveillance personnel immediately noticed them and called their superiors. When the superior learned about it, he reported it to the superior of the superior of the superior, that is, Libela. Oh ha ha ha, it's so delicious. Master Lao, Toriko and Coco from the 4 heavenly kings of gourmet are here, along with Chef Komatsu and the gourmet mafia. But next to them, there is another handsome guy, who is the teacher representative of Shilin Temple. After hearing this, Libera also took off the device on the back of his head and drooled. It doesn't matter, let them come. They will become my collection, ha 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 ha. At this time, Li Ziming and others also came to the place where coins and chips were exchanged and began to exchange food coins. After all, it is funding, so everyone is prepared to prepare more, to make a small investment with a big return, so as to attract the attention of the staff and lead them to the VIP area. As they spoke, Toriko, Coco and Li Ziming took out their unlimited black cards. It appears, a black card with unlimited amount. Let's start with 100 million coins. In a flash, countless delicious coins came out of the machine. The rustling sound was particularly pleasing to the eye. In a short while, they piled up into a small hill. At this moment, Toriko also put a cup into his mouth and started eating, his eyes narrowed instantly. After seeing this, Li Ziming picked up one and put it in his mouth to taste it. It was delicious, and felt like high-end chocolate, smooth and silky, with just the right sweetness, and very chewy. It's truly worth a fortune. Seeing this, Coco felt that the number was too much. Although each one was worth $10,000, it was not convenient to carry. He directly chose the gourmet coin worth 1 million each, ready to make a small investment for a big return. Toriko also became excited when he saw the gourmet gold coins that were worth 1 million each. After all, he had never eaten anything worth 1 million gold coins. Let me have a bite, just one bite, even a lick is fine. Dummy. Just make one yourself, Toriko, it's no big deal. Yes. Then Toriko started to use the black card while eating, and new coins appeared in the machine, each worth 1 million. Seeing this scene, Li Ziming was filled with envy and immediately started swiping his card. Since it's a black card with no upper limit, let's start with 10 billion. In a flash, the machine started to rumble and coins flowed out continuously. At this time, Li Ziming also began to place coins into the small world. There are a total of 1 million food coins, which seems to be enough to last for a while as snacks. The 10,000 coins were sold out, and it was time for the 1 million coins. Li Ziming immediately exchanged one. Put the million gourmet gold coins into your mouth, the rich chocolate flavor is very sweet, but the chocolate used this time is top grade, with rich milky flavor and smooth taste. A real million, you deserve it. But after eating it, Li Ziming felt that it was not worth the price. After all, 1 million could buy countless premium chocolates. I guess the tens of millions and hundreds of millions mentioned above are all like this, and the taste seems to be almost the same. It's better to eat the one worth 10,000. Most importantly, the 10,000 yuan one was slightly sweet, and he liked it very much. Since Coco chose the one worth 1 million, Li Ziming should be bolder. After all, it is not his own money, but the return can be hundreds or thousands of times more. Li Ziming simply chose a coin worth 100 million as his bargaining chip. Seeing this, Coco also looked at Li Ziming with a smile. You're playing with such a big thing, are you going to play with that thing too? Of course, Coco, you go first, then I'll go. I think it's okay, then let's take advantage of the gourmet casino. Please give me free gifts, and I will come back to update again. After this chapter ends, it may be a story of two worlds. Chapter 184. After exchanging the delicious coins, Li Ziming and his group came to the official gambling area. There are slot machines, dice throwing and card dealing tables everywhere. Although they are ordinary things, they are unique and can be played with for a while. The main thing is to attract the attention of the staff. After discussing it, everyone decided to split up and play around a bit to get to know the rules. After that, Coco left. Before experiencing the huge slot machine, he wanted to try something else. Li Ziming also wanted to play with other things. After taking 2 steps, he saw something familiar. A special gambling ingredient called slot machine tree. There are numbers from 1 to 6 on the tree. You need to hit the target tumor on the tree to make the numbers rotate. If the numbers are the same, the tree will bear fruit, otherwise it will fail. But one thing to note is that the larger the values of the 3 numbers are, the more delicious the fruits will be. After seeing the slot machine tree, Li Ziming excitedly stood on the stage and started the challenge. With one punch, the numbers on the slot machine tree reached 3 sevens, a big jackpot, a definite jackpot. The fruits of 777 soon grew out, and as expected, good luck and food was on my side. After the first successful attempt, Li Ziming was ready to try the second time. With one punch, 3 999s appeared. When the number 999 came out, everyone around was shocked. After all, this was a super big prize and they had never seen anyone do it before. The next second, a fruit with 999 engraved on it grew out, but its size was several times that of the previous 777. Obviously, 999 was the ultimate grand prize. I have to say, this slot machine tree is really fun and profitable. Li Ziming estimated that the value of this fruit is about 100 million. Soon, Toriko and Komatsu on the side also noticed Li Ziming's operation and came over with great interest, ready to give it a try. Seeing this, Li Ziming waved his hand and walked towards another place. After all, the amount here was still too small. As he said that, he walked towards the largest gambling machine in the gourmet casino. Yes, it was a slot machine with a full 100 sides, which was the signature machine here. There are 100 horizontally and 100 vertically rows, with dozens of patterns. It rotates at a speed of 10 to 150 meters every second. Only by pressing the button in microseconds and arranging the patterns one by one can you win the ultimate prize. Ordinary patterns only have a few dozen times the reward, better rare ingredients have tens of thousands of times, but ultimately the glittering meat pattern that symbolizes appetite has a reward of 1,000,000 times. When he came over, he saw Coco was there too. What a coincidence! Li Ziming immediately took out his 100 million food coins. The two smiled at each other, and Coco naturally understood what the other person meant. Then he sat in front of the slot machine in full view of everyone. He took out his $1,000,000 gourmet coin and put it in. The sound of the 100-sided slot machine spinning instantly attracted the attention of the gamblers, and they all walked over here to see who started the challenge. Oh my god, it's Coco from the 4 heavenly kings of gourmet food. He's going to challenge that 100-sided slot machine. Hearing the exclamations of the gamblers around, Coco, Toriko, Komatsu, Maki, and others also came over to check. As the 100-sided slot machine turned, countless black lines appeared in front of everyone's eyes, and the pattern on it could not be seen at all. Everyone was shocked. What the hell was this? But in Coco's eyes, the speed began to slow down, and the game officially began. The first pattern is meat, the second is also meat, and the third is the same. After seeing this, everyone was also very surprised by Coco's operation. Is there really anyone who can see the pattern at a speed of 100 meters per second? The gamblers around immediately began to talk, but as the meat patterns appeared one after another, the surrounding voices became quiet, leaving only the sound of Coco's keystrokes. As the last meat pattern appeared, the people around instantly fell into a carnival. Someone really completed the 100-sided slot machine. This group of people witnessed history. At this moment, a full 1 trillion yuan worth of food coins poured out from the side and piled up into a small hill. At this moment, the staff in the monitoring room immediately began to check whether Coco was cheating, and soon they agreed with Coco's operation. But at this moment, a staff member discovered something unusual. Someone else has gone up. Not only the staff were confused, but all the gamblers present were confused. Coco went up because he is one of the 4 heavenly kings of food, and which one are you? The people around couldn't help but marvel when they saw this scene. They didn't expect that there would be someone who would challenge this super-fast 100-sided slot machine. Li Ziming took out a gourmet coin and sat in Coco's previous position. Hey, look at what he has in his hand, it looks like 100 million gourmet gold coins. Nanny, so brave, he is so daring. Everyone present was dumbfounded. 100 million food coins each was the upper limit of the food casino. He was really rich. But then someone discovered that Li Ziming seemed to have come with the 4 heavenly kings of gourmet food. He sat down, which meant he had a chance of winning. If they were all connected in a line like Coco, then the 100 million would become 100 megabytes. You know, the daily turnover of the food casino is only 100 trillion. Crash. As Li Ziming invested 100 million food coins into the 100-sided slot machine, this huge slot machine started to spin again in the surprised eyes of everyone. But this time, as soon as it started, people around felt something was wrong. It was even faster than Coco's previous time. Could it be because the amount is too large? In less than half a second, the pattern above began to flash and the complete version appeared. Everyone knew that this was an illusion caused by the wheel spinning too fast. Everyone was dumbfounded. What the hell is this? A food casino, so shameless. At this moment when everyone was confused, Li Ziming laughed. It has only been a short while and he has started to operate the machine. This food casino is really worthy of its reputation. But it's no use. Eternal Mangeki Sharingan, activated. In a split second, the patterns that were rotating at an extremely fast speed slowed down. In his sight, these patterns were like ants crawling, super slow, enough for Li Ziming to see what they were. Li Ziming smiled slightly, with his mind and body highly unified, and then quickly pressed the button in the surprised eyes of everyone. Meat, 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 meat. Chapter 185. As the flesh patterns appeared one by one, the people around were instantly shocked. They rubbed their eyes and looked at the scene in disbelief. Some people even started taking videos to post online. It's unbelievable, who is he? Is he still human? Saiyan, that's fine. Soon, countless meat patterns appeared successfully, and only the last few were left. At this time, the speed of the 100-sided slot machine increased again. Everyone present also smelled a slight burning smell and saw smoke rising from the 100-sided slot machine. Seeing this, Li Ziming quickly pressed the last few buttons to prevent the food casino from defaulting on its debt, and a row of meat patterns appeared in front of everyone. Wow, my god, oh my god! Successful, he connected successfully, woohoo! Gourmet Casino, you have come to this day. Countless celebratory voices rang out, celebrating the unprecedented ultimate jackpot of the 100th slot machine since the construction of the Gourmet Casino. The 100-sided slot machine next to it was also spitting out countless delicious coins, instantly attracting the attention of everyone present. A full 100 trillion gourmet gold coins instantly began to spread like a tide, and everyone present, without exception, became jealous. At this time, the staff of the Gourmet Casino also sent people over to maintain order. The monitoring room on the other side also slowed down to check whether Li Ziming was cheating. After looking at it over and over again, they finally came to the conclusion that there was nothing. They also discovered it, and the matter became a big deal, with 100 megabytes lost. The manager left in a panic and went to report to the Laeta, who then reported to the Laeta's Laeta. When Li Biara heard this, he was also very surprised. He didn't expect that there was another master, but to him, they were all clouds. After all, the food casino has been open for so many years and he has made so much money, and it's only a mere 100 trillion. Now it depends on whether they are greedy or not. Invite them to the VIP area, I will receive them personally. This time I will return what they took with interest. He. After hearing this, the subordinate told his subordinates, and asked his subordinates to tell his subordinates. At this time, the staff who were maintaining order also received the message and walked up to Li Ziming and his group. Hello, distinguished guest, you have won a large amount of money. Do you need me to exchange it for food? Exchange them all for food. Okay, guest. Soon, groups of staff members took away the 100 trillion food coins and exchanged them for an equal amount of ingredients. Soon, one truckload of rare ingredients after another appeared in front of Li Ziming and his friends, of course some of them were cocos. Seeing the appearance of so many rare ingredients, Toriko and Komatsu immediately became excited. Let me try some, they are all delicious food. Super turkey, sunny side up eggs, feather ham, deep sea emerald shrimp, gem meat, these 100 trillion delicacies are all these luxurious delicacies. Upon seeing this, Li Ziming was also surprised at the food casino. There were so many of them. It was worthy of being the second food wholesale market. But at this time, the staff nearby came to Li Ziming again. Dear guest, these are all the ingredients you have won. But we have even more fun games here. Just winning any round will exceed the total value of the ingredients you won. You and your companions, go out and have fun. Certainly. When Li Ziming and others heard this, they looked at each other and smiled knowingly. They had finally taken the bait and could now enter the VIP area. Afterwards, the staff began to lead the group. Of course, the ingredients were also brought in accompanied by the staff. After all, these were all steaks. When they arrived at the end of a corridor, the staff worked on it and the walls began to move away, revealing a passage leading to darkness with a number of braziers on the walls. Please come this way, the VIP area is in front. Li Ziming and others also started to move forward with a little interest. The area ahead, next time, oh no. The VIP area in the front is not for playing with food coins, but for playing with ingredients. Of course, there are also those who gamble with food memories and those who gamble with their lives. The staff opened the door to the VIP area, and what came into view were various scenes that were different from the previous casino scenes. There are ferocious beasts everywhere, including fighting bulls, fighting fish, fighting cocks, and even watermelon clams, but without exception, the people who come on stage are gamblers. Those who have spent all their money here and then borrowed money from the food casino to pay back their losses can only use this method to pay off their debts. In addition to these, there are also countless paralysis ingredients and gambling ingredients. It is completely a gamble on luck. If you are lucky, you can survive, but if you are unlucky, you will die directly. This is the VIP area of the food casino, where people's lives are at stake. After all, humans are also a kind of food in nature. Hannibal's Diddy Li Ziming and his friends then came to the gambling house, ready to check out the situation and find a good place to bet. But at this moment, a tall and mighty man appeared beside everyone. This man was the boss and chef of the gourmet casino, Li Bara. Welcome all the guests who have come from afar. If you want to gamble, you might as well gamble big. Here, let me invite you all to go to a place that is even more upscale than the VIP area, the SVIP area. How about betting on something more wonderful? Achieved the gold achievement, Libera of edible memory. Achievement reward, 1000 points. Seeing the appearance of Libera, Maki and others immediately became alert. After all, he is the boss of the gourmet casino. Coco and Toriko also looked at Libela at this moment. What could be better than food? He. This way please, I'll tell you later. Li Ziming also looked at Libela with a slightly lower interest. He was okay, as he was not punished. Obviously, he was completely corrupted. I think he was just walking into the darkness step by step under Xiao Yu's guidance, just to provide food for Neo. But now that Li Ziming is here, all these ingredients are his. After all, he still has a world to support. At this moment, Maki also came to Li Ziming and talked about the paralysis ingredients. The reward ingredients on the VIP are all ordinary paralysis ingredients, not what we are looking for. I guess it's in the SVIP area. Hearing this, Li Ziming was also very surprised. There hasn't been any yet. So what ingredients were leaked this time? But it doesn't matter. Anyway, except for those that cannot be eaten, I will definitely destroy all the paralyzed ingredients. Since we've been invited, let's go in and take a look. I'm asking for free gifts every day, please. Love you guys, heart. Chapter 186. Li Ziming and others followed Li Baila into the SVIP area of the Gourmet Casino. Only the most special guests can get what they want here. And this thing is memory. After all, food ingredients cannot be kept for long, but the memory of deliciousness can be preserved for a long time and recalled over and over again. This SVIP area allows gamblers to repeatedly savor the delicious memory of a certain ingredient and achieve physical pleasure. But in order to recall the delicious memories of the ingredients, it is of course necessary to extract this past memory from other people's brains. What you are betting on in SVIP is this kind of delicious memory. The loser will have everything taken away from him, and become a degenerate in an instant. As for who to bet with, it is of course Li Baila. 99% of the people who enter here will lose to him, and then make them taste their own memories. So when Li Ziming and his friends arrived at the SVIP area, they were stunned, because everything they saw was made up of the shape of a brain. I have protected everyone's brains, and didn't let Li Baila eat them. At this moment, a gambler who was enjoying himself appeared. He got into the machine, and as the machine started, his body began to tremble constantly. Delicious, 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 how can there be such delicious food in the world? What should I do if I can't eat it anymore? Then, oh Wagari! At this moment, a white-haired old man walked out of the machine on the other side. He came to Li Baila and kept praying to him. Give it back to me, give me my love, no, give me my deliciousness back. Coco, who saw this scene, also noticed something strange and thought of the rumors among the people. It seems that the stakes here are everyone's delicious memories. Hearing this, Li Baila also smiled slightly, as expected of one of the 4 heavenly kings of gourmet. He saw through it all at once. I remember you came here before. You seemed to be asking for information about some food. Can I ask what it is? Adam, the drink from the acacia life plan of the food god. When the people present heard about this ingredient, they were also surprised. They didn't expect Coco to have such big ambitions, it was actually Adam. After hearing this, Li Baila immediately understood everything and then spoke to Coco. Since it's that ingredient, there's naturally very little useful information. But maybe someone in my brain knows about Adam's existence. After hearing this, Coco also suddenly understood. No wonder some people said that the underground culinary world is not only dark, but also has access to countless food information. It turns out that they are using intelligence as bait to lure those who come to look for them. I guess they are one of them. The purpose is to invade their brains, find more information and delicious memories, and provide them to Li Baila and the people behind him. After all, human memory is also a treasure trove. Whether it's an extinct ingredient or information about a certain ingredient, I have it all here. I can even recreate the scene so you can taste it for yourself. So, you guys are going to risk your memories to fight me. If you win, you can have whatever you want. If you lose, you know what I mean. He 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 he. When Maki heard this, he was also furious and yelled at Li Baila, evil and crooked. But at this moment, countless chefs from the underground culinary world appeared and surrounded them with knives. It seemed that their intention was obvious. They have to gamble whether they want to or not. When Maki's brothers saw this situation, they all took out their Gatling guns and waited for Maki's order to break out of the encirclement. At this time, Toriko asked everyone to stay calm. After all, they could leave if they wanted to. After all, Li Ziming was there. But he was very curious about one thing, that is, whether the ingredient was available here. Do you have any information about meteorite garlic? Meteorite garlic, yes, it contains not only gourmet memories, but also information about uncaptured areas, and even captured meteorite garlic. Toriko also became excited after hearing what Li Baila said. It was really a case of looking for something without much effort. This trip was totally worth it. Okay, let's fight it out. Ziming, Coco, I leave it to you. Li Ziming? Coco. You sounded so cool just now, but you still want us to do it. Hey hey. Oh, when Li Baila saw them like this, he took out his cards and spoke to them. Don't worry, everyone can participate this time. It's just an ordinary card game. Then, Everyone looked at the cards in Libera's hand, which were the gourmet version of the memory cards. The cards represent numbers, and the front side represents ingredients and scores. If you turn over the same card and eat the ingredients, you will get the corresponding score. After eating, you can continue to flip the cards, up to 3 times in a round, and then it is the opponent's turn. But if you cannot eat all the pairs of cards, the opponent will get points, and you will also let the opponent turn over the cards. Every time a pair is turned over, it is the opponent's turn to turn over. If you fail to eat for 2 consecutive times, you will be eliminated. The food version of the memory card deck has 56 cards and 28 kinds of ingredients, 2 of which are joker cards, which give you super high scores. After eating them, you can exchange a card with the other party, but both parties need to eat it again. If you can't finish eating them, the above rules will apply. At the end, the one with the highest score wins. By the way, is there any similar board game? I want to play it. So, who among you wants to bet with me on your food memories? Hey, hey, hey! I'm here, but I'm not going to be a player, I'm going to be the banker. I don't trust you people in the underground food cooking world. After hearing Libela's speech, Maki also took the initiative to stand up. Knowing that he could not beat him, he chose to be the banker. After all, in this way, with his own supervision, Libera will not cheat. After seeing this, Ziming also looked at him, and then looked into Libera's eyes. He was wearing special contact lenses. Being able to see through the cards is the reason why he is the winner 99% of the time. As for the 1%, those who understand will understand. I just don't know if he will panic when it doesn't work. It's fine for the food mafia to be the banker, but who among you will be the player? I'll take care of it. I'll choose the cards. And me, let me eat. As soon as the words fell, 3 people spoke up. They were Toriko Koko Komatsu. When Libela heard it, he also laughed, as if he had won the game. Just as they were about to start, Ziming spoke, and me, I want to play too. Chapter 187. Hearing that Ziming was also going to join, Libela also looked at him, a somewhat unfamiliar person. After learning from his subordinates that he was from Shilin Temple, Libera didn't care. After all, he was invincible, so one more or one less didn't matter. Sure, it's just the 4 of you, and there are others. Just the 4 of us, come on. Okay, then, come on over here. I'll take your memories. The battle to put memory at risk officially began at this moment. As both sides took their seats, the order of attacking first was decided by a coin toss, with Libera being the first to choose the north side. Coco, I choose the coin upright. Others? Although Maki was surprised, she still flicked the coin, and the next moment, the coin was swinging back and forth on the table. Finally, the coin stood up in front of everyone's shocked gaze. Everyone present was in an uproar at once, their eyes really stood up, what was going on? Coco, then let us attack first. Then Coco looked at the 56 cards on the table and decisively chose number 8, which is a 10-point cherry apple, a super high-end fruit. Then Coco chose number 29, which was still a cherry apple. This time it was a combo, and she could start eating. Soon, the staff came over with a cart, and on it were cherry apples. They were the size of cherries, but tasted like apples. Seeing this, Toriko immediately ran over, picked it up, and was about to eat it. But at this time, Ziming coughed, and the meaning was very clear. I want to eat too. Toriko froze for a moment. It was not right to eat, but it was not too late not to eat either. Coco noticed something was wrong and looked at Libera. The ingredients for the combo can only be eaten by one person. No, anyone can eat it, but they have to finish it. Hearing this, Coco also looked at Ziming and discussed, since they can all be eaten, each of you can eat one ingredient first. Special cases will be treated specially. After you win, you can eat it too. Ziming thought about it and agreed that this was indeed the case, so he let Toriko eat the first one. Seeing that Ziming agreed, Toriko ate the cherry apple with a happy smile, and they also got 10 points on the card. Next, Coco took advantage of the victory and quickly selected 2 cards, which turned out to be the 10-point watermelon clam, the watermelon in the ocean. After seeing this, Ziming also showed curiosity. It was interesting. Since it was his turn to eat, he decided to start. Soon, a frantically biting watermelon clam appeared in front of everyone. There were only 10 points, so it had to be cooked and eaten within 10 minutes. Watermelon scallop, mollusca capture level 1. Li Ziming saw this and was very curious about his smell. He captured him immediately and came to Komatsu. Catch watermelon clams. 1 point. After seeing this, Komatsu also started to prepare the dish. He simply made a seafood sauce and then dripped it into the watermelon scallops. This operation made Libera very interested, and he immediately noticed Komatsu. Li Ziming took out a fork and started eating the watermelon scallop. The outer shell looked like a watermelon, but the meat inside was like shellfish and could be eaten raw. Put the meat into your mouth and taste it, a burst of freshness will surge into your heart. The texture is tender and crisp, with a light sweetness of watermelon. It seemed that the watermelon with shell was not just for decoration. Li Ziming ate it in no time and they got another 10 points. Seeing this, Coco started flipping over the cards again, and it was another pair of combos, but this time it was a 20-point strong shot on the Matsushima mushroom. This time it was Toriko who ate it. After Komatsu got it, he started cooking it immediately. He tapped it gently and the spores inside would appear, enhancing the umami flavor, and then put it into the pot to stew. Soon, a dish of cream-battered matsutake mushrooms was ready. Seeing this, Toriko ate it quickly with a happy smile on her face. Now their score suddenly reached 40 points. After 3 consecutive attacks, it was Libera's turn. And Libela also discovered at this moment that Coco's actions did not seem to be luck, and he was worthy of being one of the 4 heavenly kings. In that case, I need to catch up quickly and take them all down in one go. He, dealer, number 32, number 16. When Maki uncovered the 2 cards, she discovered that they were a pair of sausage worms, each worth 50 points. There was an uproar among the crowd, and as the staff pushed their way in, Libera started cooking alone. Komatsu was stunned by the smooth operation. Then he remembered that Libera was among the top 100 chefs. Soon, he finished eating the sausage worms and scored 50 points, directly surpassing Li Ziming's team. Next, Libela took advantage of the victory and turned out a cantaloupe egg with 100 points and a human-faced king oyster mushroom with 70 points. It was easy to prepare and after eating it in big mouthfuls, the score suddenly reached 220 points, which was several times higher than theirs. Everyone was dumbfounded again. The gap was too big, but Coco and Li Ziming were not panicked. After all, they all knew the ending. In this case, let's teach Libela a good lesson. The success of the Tutu Gourmet Casino depends on this one. Toriko, Li Ziming, Komatsu, it's up to you now. Cook well and eat well. Okay. The cards were turned over to Coco again. He chose 2 cards and turned them over. It turned out to be a 150-point pudding mountain. Due to its huge size, the staff had to start the machine to bring the pudding mountain down. It was about 40 or 50 meters high, like a real hill, which stunned everyone. He, are you sure you can finish it? Or you still have to give up? The points will belong to me, ha 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 ha. Of course we're done eating. When Libela heard this, he also looked at Li Ziming and Toriko in the past, and smiles appeared on their faces. Thanks for all the food in the world, I'm going to eat. Li Ziming and Toriko came to the pudding mountain and immediately started tasting and eating. What surprised them was that this pudding mountain was made of super high-quality ingredients. It was extremely delicious, sweet and tasty, chewy and smooth, and it was definitely pudding. After just a few bites, the mountain of pudding became visibly smaller. Seeing this, Komatsu couldn't help but worry about the health of the 2. Then we prepared a special sauce for them to relieve greasiness and brush it on the pudding. It not only made the taste of the pudding more layered, but also changed the flavor. It has to be you, Komatsu. In just 10 minutes, they had eaten the huge mountain of pudding without feeling any change in their stomachs. Libera, who saw this scene at this moment, was also surprised. He did not expect that the 2 were so powerful. Of course, the Komatsu is also very interesting, and I'm sure it has many delicious memories in my mind. Ha 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 ha. Chapter 188. After eating the pudding mountain, Li Ziming and Toriko also walked back, licked their tongues, and savored the taste. After this game is over, I have to be nice and ask the people here to prepare some pudding mountains for me to take away. They are so delicious. Now their team successfully increased 150 points, and suddenly approached Libera's score. Then Coco continued to flip the cards, and it turned out to be a bottle of high-concentration summer whiskey sun wine, with an alcohol concentration comparable to that of water of life, 83 degrees, and worth 50 points. Toriko was overjoyed when he saw this. This strong liquor was his favorite. He picked it up and drank it all in one gulp. Komatsu was stunned by what he saw, because his cheese and cabbage appetizer had just been served. Get 50 points. Next, Coco continued to flip the cards, and this time it turned out to be a 70-molecule bullet acorn. As long as someone passed by, the fruit would be fired, and the speed was comparable to that of a bullet. Moreover, once the fruit of the bullet acorn touches the ground, it will grow poisonous buds. But for Ziming, it was simple. He walked over and easily caught the acorns without anyone falling to the ground. After handing it over to Komatsu to cook, a dish of boiled bullet acorns in sugar water came in front of Ziming. After being cooked, not only do the hard fruits of the bullet acorns become soft, but the taste is also very good, with a light caramelized nutty flavor, and paired with the sweet syrup, it's just perfect. After just a few gulps, their score reached 310 points, directly surpassing Libela. But when he saw this, he was not panicked at all. After all, he already knew the rules of victory, and now it was his time to show his talents. Libera selected 2 cards, which turned out to be a 70-point rock armadillo with a capture level of 60. Rock armadillo, mammalian capture level 60. Just when everyone thought it was going to be a fierce battle, Libera took out his 2 knives and captured the rock armadillo with just a few moves. This really shocked Komatsu and Toriko, they didn't expect him to be so strong. After coming to the kitchen to cook it, Libela quickly finished the meat, 1 piece at a time, with ease. Immediately afterwards, Libera started flipping the cards again, and this time it was a 150-point Styx poisonous lizard, which was a special ingredient that was extremely poisonous. But after his preparation and cooking, it was easy to eat. Komatsu, who saw this scene, was also attracted by Libera's cooking skills. He really deserves to be one of the top 100 chefs in the world. Next was the 200-point garlic crab, which was similar to what Ziming had last time, but was indeed much smaller in size. Soon, Libera finished eating them one by one, and his score suddenly reached 640 points, which was twice as much as Ziming and others. The flop order changes, and now it's Coco's turn. At this time, Coco also started to try and saw the shapes of other cards. As Maki turned over the card that Coco wanted, a paralyzing ingredient static banana appeared in everyone's sight. Banana, go to sleep after eating a banana. Jiao jiao, be happy and have no worries. Coco narrowed her eyes upon seeing this, and then asked Maki to turn over another card. This time it was a new ingredient, Atlas crab. Without forming a combo, it was now Libera's turn to flip the cards. At this moment, Ziming also noticed Coco's idea. It was obvious that he did it on purpose. After all, it was not so easy to defeat Libela in the game just by flipping the cards. To win this game, we need to start from other directions and use 2 approaches at the same time to take down Libela in one fell swoop. Then, Libela started flipping the cards, and he took the brain sea urchin with 30 points, the stone potato with 60 points, and the paralysis lemon with 200 points, one by one, and his score suddenly reached 930 points. After Coco turned over the cards, he turned over 2 different cards again, which made Libera very excited. It seems that Coco really relied on luck before, unlike myself, who now has contact lenses and can see what the cards below are. This is easy now. The next step is to make one go and capture the food memories of these 3 people. When it was his turn to flip the cards, he took the 200-point golden shrimp, 20-point puff abalone, and 40-point delicious leech. The score suddenly reached 1,190 points, which was 3 or 4 times higher than theirs. Little did he know that Libera was falling step by step into the trap set by Coco and began to become arrogant. Next, it's Coco's turn to perform. As Maki turned over 2 cards, it was the Atlas crab that appeared last time, worth 30 points. Toriko immediately went over and started catching it, holding it easily, and then quickly cooking it in the komatsu. Drink the soup first, the meat will be more fragrant. Ziming also took 2 bites. It was full of crab flavor, fresh and fragrant, and delicious. Finished it easily and scored 30 points. Coco then continued to flip the cards, but this time what appeared was a super special cooking ingredient, the poisonous potato, which was only worth 10 points. Seeing this ingredient appear, Coco couldn't help but raise her eyebrows. This is not easy to prepare as she doesn't have any antibodies against it. Moreover, in the human world, no one has ever heard of anyone successfully cooking this highly poisonous potato. After all, its toxicity is 20 times that of puffer whale. In this game of cards, it is a real trap ingredient. You either eat it or don't. But Li Ziming knew very well that this was the food material needed by Toriko's gourmet cells, but he was not very sure whether Toriko still needed him now. After all, his strength was several times greater than before. After thinking about it, Li Ziming came to Toriko and asked him. Why, I feel like eating that poisonous potato. How do you know? There is a little bit of it. I feel like eating it. After hearing this, Li Ziming understood. It seemed that it was still attractive, but there was no need to rush. It was okay to wait until the end to eat it. Coco thought so too, and asked Maki to turn over the other cards. This time it was a royal bomb, a 10-point nitrate cherry, and it was a joker card. This nitro cherry is equivalent to the cherry bomb in Plants vs. Zombies. It is a super special cooking ingredient. If you are not careful, it will explode with great power. Since the two cards are different, it is Libera's turn to draw next, and the order rotates. But this time, Libela turned over a 250-point Pruchna Panda, and it was a joker card. You have to know that the Pruchna Panda is a ferocious beast that can be captured at level 80. Who would have thought that the Gourmet Casino would even have this? The next card that Libera chose was a troll cheese, which made him out. Now, it's Coco's turn to flip the cards. Chapter 189. With the confrontation between Coco and Libera, basically all the cards are now revealed. The difference between the two teams is now 850 points. If you want to win this game, you need to choose the one that can turn defeat into victory among the remaining cards. Coco just smiled. The rules of victory have been determined, and now it's time for a happy counterattack. Ziming, Toriko, Komatsu, the counterattack begins. I finally waited for you. Fortunately, I didn't give up as Coco turned over the cards. What came into everyone's sight was the 250-point joker card, Pruchna Panda. Seeing this scene, Li Ziming was completely speechless. Of course, this was towards the Pruchna Panda, it was too ugly. It is also a national treasure, so let Toriko go. Hearing this, Toriko followed the staff with great interest, aiming for the Pruchna Panda. After arriving at the animal trap, Toriko looked at the huge Pruchna Panda. It was quite big and not cute at all, so she decided to just eat it. 40 consecutive nail punches. Toriko at this time is no longer the same person as before. He is no longer the weak boy. With 40 consecutive nail punches, he easily took down the Pruchna Panda. Seeing Toriko doing it so easily, Libera couldn't help but look puzzled. It was so easy to defeat the beast of capture level 80. For a moment, Libera's face turned dark. It seemed that it would be very difficult to capture Toriko and the others. Then, he chose to call for help. With that guy around, he thought he could defeat them and get their food memories. Soon, Toriko came back carrying the Pruchna Panda. Seeing this, Komatsu also started cooking, adding some vegetables to make fresh spring rolls. Seeing this, Li Ziming let Toriko eat it all. After all, in this world of gourmet food, although he could eat a lot, there were 3 things he would not eat. Don't eat cats, don't eat dogs, don't eat pandas. We'll talk about the rest later. After all, they are so cute, how can we eat them? Except rabbits, of course. Those who understand will understand. In the blink of an eye, the Pruchna Panda was eaten by Toriko and scored 250 points. Because it was a joker card, Coco could choose to take her own card and exchange it for one of the opponent's cards. Let me ask, if I exchange ingredients, will I lose the points I originally earned? After that, it will only increase the points exchanged. Then I want to exchange the garlic crab in your hand. Hearing this, Libela also looked calm, and then asked what cards he would be given. Coco then took out the Summer Whiskey Sun liquor. The appearance of this card surprised Libela very much. He thought it would be a 10-point ingredient. I get it. I'll take your Summer Whiskey Sun liquor. I can drink high concentration liquor too. Ha 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 ha. Li Ziming, who saw this scene, couldn't help but feel sad for Libela, not knowing that he had fallen into Coco's trap. As for the garlic crab, Li Ziming also gave it to Toriko and waited quietly for the ingredient. Toriko and Komatsu then ate the garlic crab as they wished and earned 200 points, while Libera also got the Summer Whiskey Sun wine. Then he asked his men for the cheese cabbage that Komatsu had prepared for Toriko. After all, it was the most suitable ingredient for sun wine. At this time, he also looked at Komatsu opposite him. Thank you for the tip. Cheese and cabbage are perfect to go with wine. He. When Komatsu saw the look on Libera's face, he was instantly horrified, not because of the way he drank, but because of the way he stared at him with full appetite and countless saliva flowing out of his mouth, as if he wanted to eat him. Seeing this, Ziming quickly comforted Komatsu. Libera was really trapped. What was left for him was either G or. After Libera finished drinking, the score now came to 1240 to 790. Although the gap was large, it was not enough to complete the task, so Coco decided to go out once. Now it was Libera's turn to turn over the cards. Unexpectedly, he was out as well, which was something Coco had not expected. However, this also gave him an opportunity. Next, Coco took out the dynamite dragonfly and the troll cheese. After being cooked by Komatsu, the dynamite dragonfly was cooked just right. After eating it, Ziming also gave Komatsu a thumbs up. The giant cheese was eaten by Toriko. Seeing this, Ziming laughed out loud. Letting Toriko, who has a keen sense of smell, eat it is what good brothers should do. But the third card, Nitro Cherry, appeared, and for this card, Ziming decided to eat it himself. The current Komatsu should be able to cook it. At worst it will explode, and you can try the feeling of white smoke coming out of your mouth. As expected, Komatsu fell into panic after getting the ingredients. After all, if he wasn't careful, it would explode. Ziming couldn't help but comfort Komatsu when he saw this. Komatsu, calm down and keep eating. You should be able to digest the cherries. After hearing this, Komatsu gradually calmed down, started to take it seriously, and started cutting the nitrate cherries. After a while, the skin of a nitrate cherry was perfectly cut off by him. But there was little time left, and the remaining Komatsu was obviously difficult to cut. Seeing this, Ziming directly took out the nitrate cherry. In full view of everyone, he ate it before the time was up. The moment you put it in your mouth, a mellow sweetness and a subtle sourness emerge from the processed cherry. It's so delicious. But the other one was not like this. As soon as Ziming took a bite, a flash of light appeared in his mouth and it exploded the next second. When Ziming opened his mouth again, a puff of white smoke floated out of his mouth. Seeing everyone's surprised eyes, Ziming directly gave a thumbs up with his hand. This is much more satisfying than biting a lighter. After all, the two are not in the same league. But fortunately, Ziming was in a strong body and was not hurt at all. Libera, who saw this scene, was extremely panicked. Who the hell was this person? He was still a human being, but he was fine after eating digestive cherries. When Coco and the others saw this scene, they were surprised but also relieved, and then looked at Libera. Since Nitro Cherry is a joker, Coco can exchange a card, and he chooses to exchange Paralysis Lemon, and the one he exchanges for is Pruchna Panda. Upon hearing this, Libera's face turned dark, but after receiving some news, he returned to his previous arrogance. He, do you think I can't defeat the Pruchna Panda? But it's too troublesome, so I choose to refuse. Since Libera gave up, the score naturally went to Ziming and his team. Then Toriko also ate the paralyzing lemon from Komatsu's cuisine and got another 200 points, directly surpassing Libera. But Libera was not panicked, because a figure in a black robe came to the gourmet casino. No prize guessing, please give me a gift, please give me a review, please give me a bookshelf. Please. Chapter 190. Libera, seeing that Ziming and others' scores surpassed his own, was not panicked at all. Instead, the corners of his mouth gradually rose. It was the first time that he had so much fun playing this game. This had never happened before. Next, it was his turn to flip the cards, and Libera's smile became more and more terrifying. Because the pair of cards he turned over was static bananas, worth 180 points. He, how did you know that static bananas are my favorite ingredient? As the staff brought it over, Libera went completely crazy and started eating the static banana in big mouthfuls, looking very happy. The scores suddenly turned around and he surpassed Ziming and 4 others again. Ya ha 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 ha, oh Wally, this way, even if you eat everyone's cards, you won't be able to defeat me. I won, he. Seeing Libera like this, only Komatsu panicked a bit, while Toriko Coco Li Ziming didn't panic at all. Li Ziming knew the plot, Coco arranged the script, Toriko smelled it, and only Komatsu was kept in the dark and had no idea what to do. The cards haven't been turned over yet, and the winner hasn't been decided yet. You still want to turn over? He, I don't need any extra points from ingredients anymore. I want to see how you can beat me. Libera is out, and it's Coco's turn to flip the cards. Seeing this scene, Li Ziming also laughed. It was finally over. Now all the ingredients for the food casino were ours. Next, Coco turned out a rock lizard worth 50 points, a sea urchin rat worth 10 points, and a giant scorpion snake worth 10 points. The score reached 1,360 points, which is 60 points away from Libela. And now there are only 2 cards left on the field, which are poisonous potatoes. Now the flop order changes, and it's Libera's turn to flop. Unexpectedly, Libera laughed instantly. He understood Coco's method. This was the food left for him. He tried to win the victory from it. But what he didn't know was that he would not add ingredients that he couldn't eat to the deck. This victory was still won by him. When he thought about the fact that he was about to capture the culinary memories of their group, Libera couldn't stop drooling. However, Coco's next words made his hair stand on end. I knew from the beginning that you could eat all the ingredients, including the poisonous potatoes. But, although you remember the cooking method, you forgot the order of the ingredients you ate today. I think this should be your last dinner. After all, in this game of cards, the one who survives is the final winner, right? Hearing Coco's words, Libera was stunned for a moment. The Last Supper, what the hell was that? How could it be the last one? He also wants to eat Li Ziming's food memories, especially Komatsu. The order in which I eat the ingredients today, will I die if I eat the poisonous potatoes? Libera immediately started brainstorming and analyzing the current situation. Finally, a conclusion was reached. Don't tell me you already know how to deal with the poisonous potatoes. Of course. When Li Ziming heard this, he understood. After all, he knew something about poisonous potatoes. Solanine is a toxin that is usually produced in the germination area of potatoes and is dangerous to the human body. In highly toxic potatoes, there is neosolanine all over the body, which is more toxic than solanine and is 40,000 times more toxic than ordinary solanine. When exposed to heat and stimulation, it will also change the characteristics of its body shape and nature. So far, no one has been able to completely remove it. The currently known cooking method is to suppress its toxicity to the minimum and change its properties. Although it will not cause death if consumed, it will be addictive and have huge side effects. The food that Libela ate today included not only seafood, but also alcohol and toxins from static bananas that entered his body. All these things mixed together, even if Libela ate the poisonous potatoes, it would mix with his toxins and cause an allergic reaction. He could obviously metabolize these through exercise and fighting, but his pride made him unwilling to fight with Pruchna Panda, thus delaying time. If you eat it now, you will definitely die. When Libea arrived here, he was also sweating all over. Coco's plan was really too terrifying. She had actually planned against him from the very beginning. But the next moment, a smile appeared on his face again. Okay, then let me eat the poisonous potato. Nanny. At this moment, Libera also began to control the device installed on his brain to disconnect his pain nerves. Then he used plastic coating to wrap all his digestive organs from the esophagus to the stomach, large intestine, small intestine, etc., so that the toxins could be absorbed by the body. Ha 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 ha. What about the order of food, and what about the toxins in the poisonous potatoes? I am the king of the underworld. I am the winner of this battle. Ha 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 ha. Just as Libela stood up happily and prepared to cook the poisoned potatoes, Coco's next words made him fall into despair again. Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you, when you drank summer whiskey son, it seemed like you ate cheese and cabbage, right? Although the two are a good match, what I want to say is that cheese and cabbage use microorganisms to break down alcohol. Of course, if it's some other plastic, polymer, or something like that, they will also gradually break it apart. The next moment, Libera felt that the plastic coating that had just covered the digestive organs was gradually being decomposed. An unprecedented panic began to surge in his heart. She had already given up once, but Coco still had one more chance to give up. If she didn't eat herself, she would lose, but if she ate herself, she would die. Libera went crazy in an instant and smashed the card table into pieces. Things had come to this point, so he had no choice but to use force. Ha 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 ha, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. I'm the king of the underworld. Little guys, come on, all of you. Leave me all your brains. Li Ziming was also ecstatic when he saw this scene. The fight was finally about to begin, and he had long been unable to hold back, so he used all his great strength. Every time he sees Libela's smiling face, he wants to go up to him and give him a big fight. He wants you to laugh, so why do you keep laughing? It happened in a flash. Li Ziming took the lead and came in front of Libela, throwing a series of uppercuts. Gas-consuming heel. Chapter 191. Li Ziming knocked Libera away with one punch. The feeling of hitting him in the face was so satisfying. He was just a chef in the dark cuisine world, and when he played this trick on him, Li Ziming immediately responded with a few slaps, and Libera turned into a pig's head. Defeat Libera and get 85 points. While Li Ziming was teaching Libela a lesson, Toriko, Coco, Maki, and others also knocked out all the chefs in the surrounding underground culinary world. It was such an easy win, after all, they were all noobs and their strength was not up to par. Only Libela was stronger, so Coco tied him up with poison and waited for a while before making any decision. Perhaps he could still be of some use if he was alive. After dealing with them, Komatsu came over with a cart, and on the plate were the poisonous potatoes. Toriko wanted to eat just now, so she asked Komatsu to cook, while the others took care of the little karami. Now the poisonous potato appears, and Toriko, the protagonist who tastes it, also comes to Komatsu. This is the poisonous potato, it looks good. I'm sorry Mr. Toriko, with my current cooking skills, I can't remove all the toxins. It doesn't matter. To me, it doesn't matter whether it's poisonous or not. After all, I will definitely eat all the food on the table. Komatsu was also very moved after hearing this, and said, Mr. Toriko is really great. Then, Toriko put his hands together and began to pray before the meal. Thanks for all the food in the world, I'm going to eat. After that, Toriko picked up the poisonous potato, gently put it into her mouth to taste it, and then swallowed it. The next second, his body swelled up instantly. Yes, the poisonous potato was exactly the right ingredient for Toriko. Potatoes originally contained many toxins, but with the evolution of gourmet cells, they have successfully eliminated all of them. Li Ziming smiled when he saw this. As long as it's useful, it's fine. Now Toriko's strength must have surpassed Zebra, making him the strongest among the 4 heavenly kings of gourmet. The next step is to go back and practice the ethics of eating. I believe he can find suitable ingredients in the food casino. Seeing this, everyone immediately decided to start looking for ingredients to see what kind of ingredients would appear in here. But at this moment, a malicious force suddenly appeared, and a man in a clown uniform came in front of them. Achieved the gold achievement, froze gender-changed life form, Joya. Achievement reward, 1000 points. Seeing him appear, Li Ziming was also very puzzled. This shouldn't happen. Why would Jiaoya appear here? Could it be that he brought Toriko to the gourmet casino in advance? Just as Li Ziming was thinking, Jiaoya suddenly took out Cinderella and slashed towards them. Everyone felt an unprecedented threat in an instant, but the next second, Li Ziming simply shook his hand and shattered the knife light. When Jiaoya saw this scene, he couldn't help but be surprised. Although it was just a casual attack from him, the power was very strong and it was shattered so easily. I originally just came to the casino to take away the rare ingredients that the casino had collected during this period of time, but I didn't expect to have an unexpected gain. I think after cooking it, I can use it for myself, and by the way, the chef who reproduced the century soup will be there too. Unexpectedly, at this time, Li Ziming looked at Jiaoya as if she were an idiot. Yo, you took the initiative, Jiaoya. I thought we would meet in the future, but I didn't expect you to come here now. It seems that there are still good things in the food casino. Seeing that Li Ziming actually said his name, Jiaoya was also confused. He didn't even know him, but he knew him. Jiaoya became serious instantly. Be careful, don't let me kill you, Jiaoya. As soon as he finished speaking, Li Ziming came in front of Jiaoya and punched him in the stomach, knocking him out and embedding him directly into the wall. He originally wanted to slap her in the face, but since the other person's body was Toriko's mother's, he simply chose to respect her. But respect is respect, but beating is still necessary. Look, after Qiaoya staggered out from the wall, he took off his clown costume and prepared to have a good fight with Li Ziming. Unexpectedly, when Toriko saw his face, she felt something unusual in her heart, and a particularly familiar feeling arose spontaneously. Li Ziming also noticed Toriko's expression at this moment. It seemed that he had to let Star Jun talk to him. God's cooking technique. Seeing that Qiaoya actually used the divine cooking technique, Li Ziming punched him and successfully broke his attack, then fired a Qigong bomb at Qiaoya. After feeling the threat, Qiaoya immediately defended himself, but he was still a step too late. The Qigong bullet hit him directly and blew him into the wall again. It was just a small Qigong bomb, but Qiaoya was covered with wounds. At this moment, he was frantically searching for Li Ziming's identity in his mind. This familiar aura reminded him of the powerful man who suddenly appeared in the world and shocked the whole world, and whose threat level was so terrifying. Could it be that person? But at this moment, Li Ziming began to walk towards Qiaoya. Although his hands did not move, Qiaoya felt fear. It felt like I was going to die in the next second. Qiaoya was so frightened that he immediately transformed into a food demon, and then disappeared from the food casino with a snap. Seeing this scene, Li Ziming was dumbfounded. Only then did he remember that Qiaoya had this trick and he was careless. He had wanted to see if keeping him would help Toriko and revive Froze, but now it seemed too late. After sensing the surroundings, I didn't see him. I thought he must have hidden in the food world. But Li Ziming is not in a hurry. After all, he will meet her again in the future, so he can just stay then. But now, he was very curious. After all, Li Biera didn't know that Qiaoya had come here specially. It seemed that there really was some rare ingredients. Toriko and others also came to Li Ziming and asked about Qiaoya's identity. He is the third largest organization in the world after Igo and Bishokyukai. He is also the leader of the Neo members. For details, you can ask the president later. But at this time, Toriko also frowned, as if thinking about something. Not only did she seem to have seen it somewhere before, but the smell was also very familiar. Seeing this, Li Ziming also said to him, "Okay, don't think about it. When you meet Starjun of Bishokyukai someday, he'll tell you." Starling. As he spoke, Li Ziming walked towards the back to see what the ingredients were that even attracted Qiaoya. Could it be the ingredients of the gourmet world? Chapter 192. Li Ziming and his team escorted Li Biera to the basement of the gourmet casino to look for edible ingredients. But what caught the eye was a wall full of brains, which must have been the delicious memories that Li Biera had collected over the years. The sources and life menus are even marked on it, and there are even some from well-known food hunters and chefs. It seems that gambling is really harmful to people. Let me start by refusing gambling. It is full of positive energy. Li Biera, you are deeply sinful. There is no sin in this. I won all of this. These are all carefully selected collections by me. Seeing Li Biera like this, Komatsu was also horrified, because he was staring at him and drooling. Then he returned to normal and looked at Toriko and the others. Are you sure you don't want the gourmet memory in my mind? Not only does it contain information, but you can also taste the flavor of meteorite garlic. Forget it. We prefer to taste others with our mouths rather than taste their memories. Hearing this, Li Biera seemed to be thinking about something, and seeing his look, Li Ziming gave up the idea of killing him. Although his crimes are serious, it is better to keep him than to kill him. After all, if he dies, the country will be reshuffled. After all, the king has just left. Since Qiaoya slipped away, Li Ziming also sensed the kingdom not far away, but found that there were only some small characters, and the big characters were not there, they were just some robots. At this moment, Maki ran towards everyone excitedly because he found something good. Brothers, I found something good, something called meteorite garlic. Is this true? Toriko, Koko, Komatsu and the others immediately followed Maki and the others and ran over. Seeing this, Li Ziming escorted Li Biera and followed slowly. Then Li Ziming also asked Li Biera. What kind of food did you win recently that you were able to invite Qiaoya to come over? I guess it's the food that Neo Organization likes. Tell me about it. You actually know Neo Organization? Li Biera's face revealed surprise for a moment, but after thinking about it, he understood. After all, Qiaoya was chased away by him, so it was normal for him to know about Neo Organization. After thinking for a while, he listed all the ingredients. It's infinite grapes. When Ziming heard the name of this ingredient, he felt a sense of déjà vu. After thinking about it, he knew why. Isn't this the ingredient that the gourmet tycoon who sent them to the ice continent wanted to capture? Unexpectedly, it was one by Libera. After asking about the storage location, he found out that it was not far from the meteorite garlic. Seeing this, Ziming took Libera there first. As soon as I got closer, I heard the exclamations of Toriko and others. When I got closer, I saw that a machine was filled with huge meteorite garlic. What is this, Libera? You have ingredients and you want us to eat your memories. You are really that? I heard from his subordinates that this seems to be his amulet. We have to come and check it out every day. Humph, I don't think of him as a talisman. I still come to see him every day. Seeing Libera like this, everyone discovered his lie. It seems that he still has times when he cherishes his food. Let me be clear, this meteorite garlic is a special seasoning ingredient, are you sure you can cook it? Komatsu jumped out immediately after hearing this, I will do my best to cook it. Great, in that case, let's eat meteorite garlic and have a feast of delicious food. But before that, wait a moment. Hearing this, everyone looked at Ziming. Wait a moment, he looked at Libera, his meaning was very clear. When Libera heard this, he sighed and led everyone who were confused to another room. This is a place that Maki and others have not explored yet. As soon as they found the meteorite garlic, they told Ziming and others. The moment the door was opened, a grapevine came into view, with a bunch of crystal clear grapes on it. Everyone was stunned to see such beautiful grapes, except Coco, who looked at it with sudden enlightenment. Is this infinite grapes? Yes, anywhere, in any environment, you can grow unlimited grapes without any nutrients. Everyone was shocked when they heard what Libera said. They had never expected that there was such food here. Ziming was also very excited when he saw the true appearance of infinite grapes. Isn't this exactly the ingredient that suits his own little world? And when he heard what Libera said, he immediately realized that the most important thing was not the grapes, but the grapevines, which were the key. I want this infinite grapes. We'll eat the grapes later, but I'll have a use for the vines. Sure. After hearing what Ziming said, everyone agreed. After all, being able to eat grapes is enough. After that, Ziming came to the storage of infinite grapes, took out the ingredients, picked the grapes, and the grapes began to grow again at a speed that was jaw-dropping. He quickly picked a bunch for everyone, one for each person, then put the vines into the small world, ready to study them further. Soon after, everyone arrived at the top of the food casino, the special observation restaurant, to taste unlimited grapes. As for Komatsu and Libera, they went to the restaurant and started cooking meteorite garlic. Sitting at the dining table, everyone looked at the starry sky and had a panoramic view of the surrounding scenery. Thanks for all the food in the world, I'm going to eat. Everyone looked at the bunch of grapes on the plate and began to taste the delicious taste of these grapes. Pick one and put it in your mouth. The moment your teeth touch the grape skin, you can feel the elasticity of the grape skin. The moment you bite it, the juice bursts out instantly, and countless grape juices flow into your mouth. It feels like drinking grape wine, which is mellow and sweet. After swallowing the juice, the taste of the pulp is revealed, chewy and tough. The three flavors of peel, pulp, and juice blend together to play a wonderful symphony. After eating one, you will want to eat the next one. It is so addictive that everyone is instantly immersed in the deliciousness of the infinite grapes. Soon, everyone's bunch of grapes was eaten up by them. They were so delicious. Another string, I want one too. Okay. What could Ziming do? Of course he took out the grapevine again and picked grapes for everyone to eat while chatting. On the other side, the restaurants, Libera and Komatsu, started. Chapter 193. At this moment in the kitchen, Libera was watching Komatsu cooking meteorite garlic. Looking at his clumsy appearance, he felt that if Komatsu continued like this, he would never be able to prepare food well in his life. But he obviously didn't know the power of Komatsu's cooking skills. In just a blink of an eye, he successfully cut off the skin of some meteorite garlic. When Libera saw this scene, he was also extremely shocked. He thought that the person was worthy of his favor. He could actually cut off the skin of the meteorite garlic without any prompts. Obviously, he could hear the conversations among the ingredients, but perhaps he had lost this ability when he was choosing his food memories. Soon, after Komatsu's continuous cooking, he successfully cut through the thick layer of meteorite garlic. Libera, seeing Komatsu exploring alone, looking for a way to cook meteorite garlic, suddenly thought of himself. Once upon a time, I was just like Komatsu, happily cooking ingredients in the kitchen and exploring and learning how to cook. His eyes blurred for a moment, as if he saw his own shadow in Komatsu. This filled Libera's body and mind with memories, but at this moment, Komatsu fell into trouble. He also discovered that the effect of Coco's acupuncture on his body seemed to be weakening, and he gradually regained control of his body. For a moment, Libera was conflicted, but soon he laughed. It seemed that he hadn't felt such a sense of trust in himself for a long time. He looked at the busy Komatsu, then slowly walked towards him and grabbed Komatsu with his huge hand. Wow! Cut this way! Well! Komatsu turned around and saw Libera. He was confused for a moment, but soon he felt an emotion in the other person. It was the chef's love for the ingredients that changed Komatsu's perception of Libera. In an instant, he understood why Coco wanted him to accompany her to cook meteorite garlic. Then, Komatsu happily started to cook the huge meteorite garlic with Libera. Not long after, they came to the restaurant together, pushing the cart. Sorry for the wait, Mina-san, the meteorite garlic is ready. Everyone was surprised and delighted to see Komatsu and Libera coming together, and as soon as they came, they smelled a fragrance. When Libera put the cooked meteorite garlic on the dining table, Toriko also took the lead in opening the lid of the pot, and a pink meteorite garlic appeared in everyone's sight, still steaming. They immediately noticed the difference. The way the meteorite garlic was cooked was actually teppanyaki. After Komatsu's explanation, everyone realized that this was all taught by Libera. Not bad, it seems you also want to taste the food instead of indulging in the memory of the food. Thanks to Komatsu, my passion for cooking has been rekindled, and it has also made me realize and remember my original intention of becoming a chef. By the way, this is just the beginning of the meteorite garlic cooking. Hearing Libera's words, everyone was stunned, and then looked at the meteorite garlic. The next second, some hot air floated out from the bottom of the meteorite garlic, and then turned purple in front of everyone. With a whoosh, it flew up from the dining table, launched into the sky, exploded in the sky, and bloomed into brilliant fireworks. Let everyone in the country see the gorgeous fireworks show. The real meteorite garlic, like a meteor, with a golden color, slowly falls from the sky and lands on the dining table. This is real meteorite garlic. Only a small part at the center of the fruit can be eaten. Only then can the dish be considered complete. So, please enjoy this delicacy from the universe. After hearing what Libera said, everyone turned their eyes to the center of the plate. The fallen fruit began to split and gradually became 6 petals. Ziming was shocked when he saw it. It was actually based on the number of people present. You know, there were 5 petals in the original book. I guess it was my own food luck that changed my destiny and gave me my share. For a moment, Ziming was also very excited. A happy ending was what he wanted. This world is really wonderful. Come sit down, Libera, and taste the meteorite garlic together. Sure. Of course, you and Komatsu cooked this together. Since you have your share, let's eat together. It tastes better when we eat together. Libera was very excited when he heard this. He had not felt such a warm feeling for a long time. After he sat down, everyone put their hands together and prayed before the meal. Thanks to everyone in the world for the ingredients, meteorite garlic, we are about to start eating. After thanking for the ingredients, Ziming picked up his own petal, put it in his mouth and started eating, savoring the flavor of the delicious food. The taste of meteorite garlic is very similar to crispy fried potatoes, very crispy. The inside is very soft, like very solid cream cheese, and extremely delicious. After chewing it repeatedly, everyone felt an unprecedented satisfaction. The meteorite garlic was really delicious. He had the heart to swallow the meteorite garlic, and the next moment, its effect appeared on Ziming's body. His muscles bulged and he suddenly turned into a muscular man. He looked very much like Trunks, and his swollen appearance when he transformed into a Super Saiyan was even more impressive. But soon, Ziming gradually got it under control and his body gradually began to recover, but the effect was still ongoing. After all, meteorite garlic has another name, called forbidden drug garlic. After eating it, you can gain sleepless energy and strength. Moreover, Ziming felt the cells in his body cheering. Obviously, this ingredient was also very popular with him. After all, the meteorite garlic is golden after cooking. After feeling his body, Li Ziming could clearly feel that his blood seemed to be undergoing a transformation. Moreover, part of the golden giant ape's hair began to turn green. I think that soon, when he eats those rare ingredients again, the Saiyan blood in his body will evolve and transform. By then, I will be truly invincible. Coming back to his senses, Li Ziming looked at the group of brothers in front of him. Each of them had their clothes torn off, revealing their muscles. Toriko and Maki were normal, except for Coco and Libela, whose bodies were abnormally swollen. It seemed that their gourmet cells had evolved and transformed. But what surprised Li Ziming was that Komatsu's body also expanded miraculously, even more than in the original book, almost catching up with Maki. It seems that my gourmet cells have awakened. Chapter 194. Komatsu, whose body suddenly expanded, instantly attracted everyone's attention. You know, the reason they could do this was largely due to their gourmet cells. Now seeing Komatsu's appearance, everyone gathered around to check it out. Li Ziming and Coco also began to examine Komatsu, and soon they came to a conclusion. The gourmet cells in Komatsu are about to awaken. Li Ziming thought about it for a while and found out the reason. It was because of his intervention that Komatsu's gourmet cells would be activated only at the end of the human world. Now, he has already made his debut. It seems that before long, after eating a lot of food, Komatsu's physical condition will be greatly improved. By then, I will probably be able to go to the food world with Toriko in advance to explore, practice, and eat delicious food. Toriko was also very happy when she heard the news. After all, Komatsu had awakened his gourmet cells, so she could take him to the gourmet world. Endless delicious food is waiting for them. Excited Toriko immediately came to Komatsu and celebrated with him. Great Komatsu! Yes, Mr. Toriko! Everyone was happy for Toriko and Komatsu as they showed off their muscles to each other, but they were a little scared when they thought about the food industry. After all, it's the food world. At this time, Coco also looked at Libela, ready to ask some questions. By the way, Libera, I have a question for you. You know, Acacia drinks, Adam's information. After hearing Coco's words, everyone looked at him, and then looked at Libela. I don't know, but I know someone who knows, and that's Jiaoya who fought against Li Ziming. Everyone turned their heads in unison and looked at Li Ziming, which made him confused as to why they were looking at him again. Ziming, can you tell us about it? Let me talk, please. After hearing this, Li Ziming also took out his sweet cola and started drinking it to moisten his throat. Although they will gradually know it in the future, it is still okay to give them a general idea, and then let the president tell them later. NEO is a hidden organization. The leader is the man just mentioned, and their members are scattered all over the world. Some are kings, some are wealthy people, some are in Bishokyokai, some are in Igo, and every organization known to the world has their people. And their goal is to capture God in the food world. Hearing this, everyone was instantly surprised. They didn't expect that every organization had their people. This was too terrifying. Especially those wealthy people and those in high positions, if they make a move, the economy of the human world may collapse. But the most important thing is that even Igo and Bishokyokai have infiltrates, and it is obvious that their strength is also terrifyingly strong. And their target is that God. Ziming, does the president know about this? You should know. It won't be long before the president goes to negotiate with the boss of Bishokyokai. When everyone heard this, they were also thoughtful. It seemed that the situation was worse than he had imagined. Seeing this, Li Ziming also comforted everyone, don't worry, they won't act so quickly, it will take several years. Even if you want to do something, your current strength is not good enough. You should practice hard first, and then go to the food industry to train yourself. That's true. After saying that, Li Ziming slowly stood up and prepared to go to the warehouse of the gourmet casino to search. After all, if he won, everything would be his. Would you like to go to the warehouse? I want to take away some of the ingredients there. I'm going. I want to go too. Toriko and Komatsu caught up instantly. After all, they also needed ingredients, so they came to find Monkey to make divination ingredients and go to Shokurin Temple. Libela sighed when he saw the three people leave, and then he felt relieved. Mr. March, you will be the ones running the food casino from now on, and you can handle the illegal ingredients as you please. UBD. Compared to running a business, I still want to be a chef. When the others heard this, they also smiled with relief. Everything was just as Coco had expected. At this time, Li Ziming Toriko Komatsu also came to the food casino, the place where food is stored. Looking around, there are all kinds of delicious food. Li Ziming was naturally very happy when he saw this. Now his own little world had been settled. So, he asked Komatsu and Toriko to find the ingredients that Monkey needed to make sushi rolls, and he took the rest. Of course, Li Ziming could not take it all. He left some for the gourmet casino for daily consumption, and let Maki take some away to feed the children in the village. Soon, Toriko and Komatsu found the ingredients they wanted, including sausage, eggplant, pearl rice, durian, garlic and other ingredients. Seeing this, Li Ziming also put the ingredients they didn't want into the small world, entered his consciousness into it, and began to operate. In this small world at this moment, countless ingredients fell from the sky and under Li Ziming's control, they continued to melt and turned into the purest gourmet energy. The small world suddenly began to rain golden light, which then continued to merge into the ocean, the land, and the forest, and then a drastic change took place. Some small creatures began to appear in the ocean, and they seemed to be constantly transforming. On land, all kinds of flowers, plants, and trees also became colorful, began to bloom, and bore various fruits. Such changes have taken place in every place in the small world, even the ice continent where Li Ziming moved in. Even Xiaowu and his parents underwent a transformation in this rain of light, and their capture level was greatly improved. Obviously, the small world at this moment has transformed into a world similar to the world of gourmet food. Now all that's missing are some animals. After all, in Li Ziming's small world, there are only some in the ice continent, some in the ocean, and none on land. Li Ziming thought about it and decided to go to Acacia's kitchen. After all, there were many ferocious beasts there. Not only are there rainbow fruits and puffer whales, but there is also a herd of ligera mammoths. The gem meat inside must be even more mellow. It would be even more delicious if sprinkled with milk stars. Just thinking about it, Li Ziming started to salivate. After all, the last time he ate it, there was no milk star. Not to mention, there are many ferocious beasts on that island, especially various dragons, and he has never eaten dragon meat. It seems that I can go there tomorrow. At least I can plan my own little world and travel by myself. Next stop, Acacia's kitchen. Chapter 195. At 6 o'clock in the morning, Li Ziming woke up from the candy house. It was another day full of hope. Li Ziming got up early in the morning and opened the window. The sun was shining brightly. He went downstairs while eating biscuits on the wall. Although he hadn't been back for a long time, the house was still so delicious. While enjoying the candy house, Li Ziming walked out of the room. He hadn't seen his animal friends for a long time. They had all grown up, including Terry. Obviously, the surrounding environment is currently suitable for the survival of Terry and other animal companions, but it will not be possible later on. The nutrition is completely insufficient. How can they defeat the 8 kings and become the new beast king of the food world? It seems that I will need to settle down in the food world and take them over when the time comes. This will be beneficial to their growth and they will be able to hunt for food. Li Ziming took out some popcorn, fried toad nuggets and other delicacies and shared them with them so that they could become stronger. After touching the fur of Sydney and Terry, Li Ziming also looked at the 3 bears. The capture level was also raised to 30 or 40. Although it was a little low, it was already very difficult for them. After feeding them, Li Ziming also looked at Toriko's candy house. At this moment, the owner of the house was still sleeping soundly. What could he do? He was helpless. Since Toriko wasn't doing his job, he went to catch the ingredients himself. After that, Li Ziming performed the flying technique, flew into the sky, and then flew towards the Hunger Delta, which was the destination of his trip, Acacia's kitchen. Soon, he arrived here and looked at the storm group not far away, which kept sucking out various aircraft wreckage from the sea. You can imagine how terrifying it was. It was worthy of being the Hungry Delta, one of the 7 wonders of the world. Acacia's kitchen is right inside the Hunger Delta, and this storm is his best protective color. Li Ziming was also very excited when he saw it, because he saw creatures living in this cloud, and they looked delicious. Yaki Tate, reptile capture level 77. The happy Li Ziming rushed directly into the clouds and started to beat up the little Karami and the Yamada monster. It seemed that he could happily blow their heads off. It happened that he hadn't had breakfast yet, so he would just treat it as his first meal after waking up. In a matter of seconds, he knocked out the Yamada monster that lived in the clouds, put it into the small world, and when it landed on the ground, he roasted and ate it. Capture the Yamada monster and gain 77 points. After breaking through the clouds, the sun shines brightly and what comes into view is a covered pot lid. This is Acacia's kitchen, and this is also one of Acacia's protective layers. After Li Ziming landed, he began to look for the hidden door, which was the passage leading to the inside of Acacia's kitchen. After touching here and there, he soon found it. He walked in and saw that it was a tunnel. The surroundings were very gorgeous. Upon closer inspection, he found that it was actually a protective shell made of the shell of Olahalyabe. This is a shellfish unique to the food world. It is extremely hard, harder than diamond, and is also super large in size. After walking a few hundred meters, Li Ziming's eyes suddenly opened to a new world, and then he saw a dreamlike scene. On land, there are many rainbow fruits growing everywhere, and judging from their colors, they are purebred, not the versions that were previously improved by Ego. There are many ferocious beasts flying in the sky, including not only various birds, but the most prominent ones are the most special ones, various dragon-like beasts, including long-extinct tropical dragons and lava Tyrannosaurus rex with a volcano on its back. Of course, the water is also very exciting. Not only are there a large number of puffer whales, but there are also delicious jellyfish and creatures of various sizes. Just what Li Ziming could see were the konjac turtles floating in the water and the armored lungfish whose entire body was covered with shells. Without exception, all of them were extinct creatures. He even saw a giant electric eel catching a bird of prey flying in the air. Li Ziming thought it would be quite delicious if it were made into eel rice. At this moment, the ground began to shake. Li Ziming looked around and saw dozens of Ligera mammoths running wildly. This scene was really shocking. This is Acacia's kitchen, which is also Acacia's ecological zone, containing a variety of ingredients. After seeing this, Li Ziming was very moved, and really wanted to put the entire island into his small world. However, with the current environment of his small world, it could only accommodate a small part of it. It was still not enough for the creatures on the entire island to have enough food to survive. He still had a long way to go. But it's still possible to capture some wild animals and create some ecology. As he spoke, Li Ziming flew towards the Ligera mammoths, took a look at the echo point, and began to check the bodies of everyone. Among the dozens of them, all of them had gem meat. This feeling was amazing. He just flew in quickly, and then flew back quickly. After a while, Li Ziming had collected most of the gem meat, and he didn't plan to collect the rest. When Toriko and the others come over, wouldn't it be nice to have a party together? After all, Acacia's kitchen is an open-air barbecue. After picking a piece of gem meat, Li Ziming went back to the sea. He had to breed some puffer whales in the small world. If you want to eat them, you can eat them. It's so delicious. As soon as the golden trigger appeared, the puffer whale in the ocean was acupunctured by him and then thrown directly into the ocean of the small world. Capture puffer whales x1000 and gain 29,000 points. After capturing these puffer whales, Li Ziming looked at other creatures on the seabed. They all laid the foundation of the marine ecological chain, and he must add some to his little world. But it was too troublesome to capture them one by one, so Li Ziming simply controlled the trigger directly and packed everything in the surrounding 1-kilometer ocean into the small world. Although there are fewer of them, don't forget that they will reproduce. What's more, there are more than just this area. After all, your own small world was created based on this place. Li Ziming started transplanting at certain distances, which could speed up the development of the small world without causing too much damage to Acacia's ecological kitchen. After all, the Earth is now entering a period of rapid maturity, and the food on the Earth is constantly growing and new varieties are emerging. Li Ziming's point is really insignificant. It is estimated that in a few days, the areas he dug will recover. After coming out of the ocean, Li Ziming was very satisfied. Now the ecology of his own ocean has been basically built, and it is time to transplant some rainbow fruits. After all, the rainbow fruit here is acacia, transplanted from the food industry. I think it should taste better than those in Igo. After saying that, Li Ziming flew over there and began to transplant rainbow fruits. Unexpectedly, just as he started, he heard a scolding not far away. Stop! Chapter 196. Li Ziming heard the scolding and looked in the direction where the sound came from. He saw a beautiful woman riding a cat towards him. He recognized at a glance that the woman riding the cat was Icarus, the director of the old first ecological zone of Acacia Kitchen. Achieved gold achievement, director of the old first ecological zone. Achievement reward, 1000 points. When Icarus arrived riding on the cat and saw Li Ziming, he sensed a great danger. He felt careless but also began to be on guard. Who are you and why are you destroying the ecology here? Hearing Changpu's question, Li Ziming briefly introduced himself and truthfully stated that he was from Shilin Temple. When Icarus heard about Shokurenji, she couldn't help but let down her guard. After all, as a member of Igo, she naturally knew the national treasure of food. After all, she is Setsuno's good friend, and they also learned cooking skills from each other when they were young. But Li Ziming was destroying the ecological zone, and Icarus was very curious about his behavior and why he wanted to dig the rainbow fruits here. I remember the food ethics of Shilin Temple, which seems to prohibit people from destroying the ecology. After hearing Changpu's question, Li Ziming thought about it and decided to answer truthfully. Please rest assured, I am not destroying the environment. I am transplanting to make it convenient for myself while also considering the future in case someone from Bishokyukai or Neo comes to destroy this place. After all, some people have already set their sights on this place. While answering, Li Ziming also pointed to the huge stone tablet not far away, where Acacia sealed the End Dragon. Icarus then looked at the stone tablet, and his expression instantly darkened, especially after hearing Li Ziming's words. Some people had set their sights on this place. A name suddenly came to her mind, her former partner, Kilim, who had now joined Bishokyukai. It seems like you know a lot. Please don't tell anyone else about this. Don't worry, I won't say anything nonsense. Besides, do you want me to help you solve this matter? After all, I am very powerful. President Yulong is no match for me. I have defeated him before. It is easy to deal with a small End Dragon. After saying that, Li Ziming simply released some threats, which instantly frightened Changpu so much that he took a step back, as if facing a formidable enemy. Soon, Changpu discovered that he was the man who shocked the world not long ago. For a moment, she didn't know whether to ask Li Ziming for help. Finally, Icarus decided not to do it for the time being. The seal was still strong, and Kilim didn't know the location of this place, so it was relatively safe for the time being. No need. The seal here is still safe. If there is any problem, I will tell the president. Okay. Seeing Changpu's stubbornness, Li Ziming was also very helpless. After all, he was the director here. Anyway, Li Ziming didn't force it. It would be around the corner, and Kilim would probably come here and remove the seal himself. At that time, if I take action and defeat it, the opponent will not be able to absorb the End Dragon. Then I can have a taste of this ancient flavor. After that, Li Ziming started transplanting again, but this time Icarus did not stop him, partly because he was strong. On the one hand, because of what might happen in the future, if Li Ziming transplants some, maybe he can save some of the ingredients. Soon, Li Ziming transplanted 5 rainbow trees into the small world. From then on, he would have endless rainbow fruits to eat. If there is a famine in the human world in the future, I can help Igo and distribute food to humans. It probably won't take a few years. At this moment, Li Ziming thought of the Corona sunflower bred by Icarus, which is a good thing. It can not only allow Toriko to transform, but also give it powerful strength. And it is the life menu of Ayam and Kilim, and there is only one dish, which is Corona sunflower. Can I have a taste of your life menu? If possible, I would like to transplant some. Hearing this, Changpu was also stunned for a moment, looking at Li Ziming in disbelief that someone actually knew about this. After thinking about it, Changpu agreed. After all, they were all family members, and maybe someone would need help in the future. Of course, come this way, the Corona sunflower is over there. Icarus rode on the cat and ran towards a nearby place. Li Ziming also activated the air dance technique and slowly followed. Seeing that Li Ziming could actually fly, Changpu confirmed his identity again. After all, Master Zhen Zhen could also fly, so she just made a mistake. A few minutes later, Li Ziming also followed Icarus and came to Netaro's ruins, except for the broken areas around. What catches the eye is the altar in front of you, which is several hundred meters high. Although it is very large, it looks pitifully small in front of the frozen stone tablet that seals the End Dragon. But the flashing golden light on it also attracted Li Ziming's attention, as dazzling as the sun. When we arrived at the altar, we saw that it was covered with Corona sunflowers. Each one was emitting a golden glow. We could even see the golden highlights radiating from the inside out. As expected of the gourmet world, the corona sunflower, known as the little sun, can not only store sunlight, but also has the largest amount of energy stored in its body. The contained energy also passes through underground pipes to provide energy for the freezer that seals the end dragon, thereby freezing and sealing the opponent. Just as Li Ziming was sighing at the appearance of the corona sunflower, it was already emitting a golden glow. Icarus also picked a corona sunflower, came to Li Ziming, and began to gather energy from the bottom up, and began to gather it into liquid. Upon seeing this, Li Ziming immediately took out a cup and caught the energy liquid of the corona sunflower. And the entire corona sunflower began to wither. Seeing the energy condensed by the corona sunflower in the cup, Li Ziming was also very excited for a moment. Li Ziming not only felt the appetite rising in his body, but his cells also became restless. Obviously, the corona sunflower was just the right thing for them. After expressing his gratitude to Icarus, Li Ziming was ready to officially start tasting the flavor of the corona sunflower. I want to express my gratitude to all the food in the world. I'm about to eat. After saying that, Li Ziming picked up the cup and drank it all. It is very soft in the mouth and tastes fresh and elegant, a mixture of grass, nuts, and sweetness. It makes people linger and it is so delicious. As Li Ziming swallowed it, the efficacy of the corona sunflower was revealed at this moment. Then he became the Sunday. Chapter 197. After Li Ziming drank the corona sunflower, a golden light instantly appeared from his body. It directly enveloped the entire acacia kitchen, and Li Ziming's cells also cheered at this moment. The cells in his body were instantly activated, and Li Ziming involuntarily transformed into a Super Saiyan, but he soon felt something different. As the energy in the body surges, my strength is also constantly increasing under the sun. This made him think of that hot man. I am the only one who is supreme in the world. But soon, the cells accelerated their eating speed, and as the energy of the corona sunflower was completely consumed, Li Ziming returned to normal and the feeling disappeared. But he felt unprecedented comfort and unprecedented strength. Obviously, the corona sunflower is the last piece of the puzzle to fill in his cells. It not only improves his strength, but also strengthens his bloodline. The normal combat power has increased from 20 million to 100 million after eating and eating. The golden giant ape's body was now covered with green hair to 2/3, and it was obvious that it was not far from the sublimation of its bloodline. The same goes for my own strength. If I was still some distance away from Super Saiyan 2 before, I can do it now. It's not in vain that I ate so many good things these days. Li Ziming has now become a Super Saiyan 1, and his combat power has reached 5 billion, which means that his normal combat power has reached 100 million. Then it's time to try and transform into Super Saiyan 2. Li Ziming flew directly into the sky and started trying. At this moment, the light on Li Ziming's body was retracted, and dark clouds also covered Acacia's kitchen. As Icarus looked on in shock, lightning began to appear in the sky, striking all around. A golden aura also appeared on Li Ziming's body, and bursts of electric currents appeared around him, which was very dazzling. As the flame turned into a jet, electric current continued to appear along with the flame, and Li Ziming's Super Saiyan 2 transformation was successful. He clenched his fist in disbelief. This powerful feeling was so wonderful. Is this the power of 10 billion combat forces? It feels like this planet can be destroyed with just one punch. Apparently, the Saiyan bloodline is still too powerful. Especially in this world where eating delicious food can make you powerful. He punched the air a few times to adapt to his own powerful strength. The consumption was not bad, and Li Ziming felt that he could maintain it for a long time. The next goal is to surpass 3. Now we have surpassed 2, so how far will surpass 3 and 4 be? It's just a matter of time. Does he lack time? No, he doesn't. The next step is to stabilize it. Li Ziming then returned to his normal self. It is okay to relax occasionally. After all, being strong in normal state is the real strength. At this moment he noticed the shocked Icarus and immediately came to her side. Thank you, this corona sunflower seems to have activated my cells. You're welcome. It's my honor to help you. Li Ziming also noticed the honorifics from Icarus' mouth. Obviously, no matter which world one is in, as long as one is powerful, others will be in awe of them and speak politely. Then, he prepared to discuss with Icarus whether he could give him some and then transplant them in the small world. This way, when there are more in the future, I can use them as backup, and I can give some to Gaku, Toriko and the others to taste. Let me transplant some Corona sunflowers without disturbing it. I want a garden like this, too. Of course, but the quantity may be limited. I can only give you 20, otherwise the seal will be weakened. Hearing this, Li Ziming was also very satisfied. After all, 10 were not a small number. When they were destroyed by Kilim, he could take action himself. After solving them all in one go, they will no longer need the Corona sunflower to seal it, and then things will be easy. I remember there are seeds. Give me some and I'll plant them myself. Well, it hasn't been pollinated yet. The hell bees haven't come yet this year, and the success rate of artificial pollination is very low. When Li Ziming heard this, he suddenly remembered that in the movie, the Corona sunflower that Komatsu saved was pollinated by the hell bees themselves. That is why after withering, the dead tree will come back to life in spring and produce many seeds. He didn't expect that the hell bee had this function. If he had known this, he would have captured it. But it's almost the same. After all, with my luck in food, if I meet it the first time, I will definitely meet it the second time. Even if he is not attracted by his own food luck, he will be attracted by Komatsu and Toriko's food luck. By then, after they receive the commission, they can come over. At that time, he will plant the small world full of Corona sunflowers. After transplanting 20 Corona sunflowers to the small world, Li Ziming also expressed his gratitude to Icarus. If you need me for something in the future, you can contact President Yulong, and I will come to help you then. Besides, you can consider keeping some and planting some Corona sunflowers separately, like I did. Okay, I'll remember that, thank you for your reminder. When Li Ziming saw Chang Piyu's expression, he knew that he had said everything and decided to wait for Kilim to come over before continuing. After saying that, he prepared to leave, but before leaving, there were still some things he had not captured. After sensing the dragon-like beast here, Li Ziming teleported over and began to capture it. Tropical Dragon, capture level 90, successfully captured. Lava Tyrannosaurus, capture level 87, successfully captured. Electric Eel, capture level 88, successfully captured. Points earned, 265. After putting them into the small world, Li Ziming looked at the vegetables again. After all, the vegetables here are also super delicious, and there are even ingredients from the gourmet world. For example, ozone cabbage, rainbow carrots, scarlet peppers, super onions and so on. These are all vegetables suitable for grilling. After all, this is Acacia's kitchen, so the first choice for a party is, of course, grilling. After putting them all into the small world, Li Ziming was ready to leave. He would come back after a while when Bisho Kyukai captured the hell bee. But there is nothing happening in both worlds for now. Toriko and Komatsu went to learn the etiquette of eating, and Gaku also sneaked away with a lot of ingredients, which should be enough for them to eat. There is always some time before important events occur. Then it's time to travel through time, give yourself a vacation, go to another world, and make some new friends. Master System, it's time to go to the new world. Points, 10,000, get a chance to travel through time. Whether to use it or not, a chance to travel through time. Yes. Chapter 198. Welcome to the world of Hunter x Hunter. As soon as Li Ziming closed his eyes and opened them again, he arrived in a new world. Looking at the endless sea, he was very excited. I really didn't expect that it would be the world of Hunter x Hunter. This world is not ordinary. Not only does it have various kinds of monsters, but also various secret realms. Of course, there is also the unique ability of Nen, which is similar to the Chi in Dragon Ball, but more functional. And just like the food world, there is the human world and the dark continent which is similar to the food world. However, Li Ziming estimated that the danger level would be lower than that of the food world, but it was almost the same. After all, it was the dark continent. It's not over yet, who knows what else will come out. Anyway, there is no threat. The current Li Ziming came to this world purely to travel and make friends. If possible, it is not impossible to be a teacher. After all, I have enough life and other things now. I can find some time to go to the dark continent and bring back some vanilla or something. Besides, there is no temptation for the time being. Coming back to his senses, Li Ziming looked at the boundless ocean, and was very curious about what time, place, and chapter it was. Then he began to sense the surrounding environment, and soon he discovered the existence of some islands. Li Ziming soon discovered something different. This was Whale Island. Moreover, he also sensed the existence of a certain son of the world. Wow, this is really the beginning. Li Ziming flew directly over and arrived above Whale Island. At this time, Xiaja, wearing a Gitan suit and a bird on his head, was concentrating on fishing the Swamp King. Achieved Platinum Achievement, Son of Nature Xiaja. Platinum Achievement, 10,000 points. When Li Ziming saw Xiaja in this state, he couldn't help but sigh at his talent. He felt like Android 16. They all love forests and animals, and are also deeply loved by animals. I feel that Xiaja's future hunter direction can be to become a druid or hunter, and he can fully rely on the power of animals. Obviously, Togashi has no idea of cultivating his own mind beast, and he just lets Gon play rock paper scissors. So after the Ant arc, Gon and Killua parted ways and left the show directly. On the one hand, it was because of the problem of reading, and on the other hand, they started writing about the Dark Continent, and their strength was not enough to make it there. It is estimated that Togashi will have to wait until they become adults before he can allow them to appear on the stage again. At this moment, Xiaja's float also moved. According to Li Ziming's perception, the Lord of the Swamp has begun to take the bait. As the water surface began to ripple, Xiaoji gripped the fishing rod tightly, ready to exert force at any time. Come on! The moment the Swamp Lord bit the hook, Xiaoji began to pull it, trying to fish it out directly. But the Swamp Lord was so powerful that even Xiaja was almost pulled into the water. To this end, Xiaja directly used his own gravity, jumped down from the tree, and used the acceleration of gravity to successfully fish it up. Success! Now I can take part in the hunter trial. Sure, kid, that's good. Seeing Xiaja successfully fishing up the Swamp Lord, Li Ziming clapped his hands and flew down from the sky. Xiaoji was shocked when he saw this scene. He really didn't expect that there was someone who could fly. At this moment, an idea arose in his mind. Could this big brother be the legendary hunter? Brother, how can you fly? Are you a professional hunter? Hearing this, Li Ziming smiled slightly and then replied to Xiaja. I guess I'm a gourmet hunter, but I don't have a hunter's license yet. As for flying, if you want to learn, I can teach you. Of course, after I participated in the hunter trial and obtained my hunter license. After hearing this, Xiaoji instantly became excited. On the one hand, it was because Li Ziming was actually a gourmet hunter, and on the other hand, it was because he was going to participate in the hunter trial and he could go with him. I want to participate in the hunter trial too, big brother, can we team up? Of course. Then let's make a deal. After we become a hunter, you will teach me how to fly. Let's make a pinky promise. When Li Ziming saw Gon like this, he couldn't help but sigh at his innocence and kindness, which was also one of the reasons why he could become friends with Killua. Then, the two of them made a pinky promise that they would not change for 100 years. Brother, I'm going to take this Swamp Lord back to the village. You should come with me. Okay. In this way, Li Ziming accompanied Xiaja towards the village. The two talked a lot along the way, and Xiaja also knew his name. Soon they returned to the dock of Whale Island. Wherever they went, every villager looked at Xiaja in shock, as he had actually accomplished the feat his father had accomplished. Not long after, Xiaja's Aunt Mit also came here, but there was no smile on her face, instead she looked sad. Aunt Mit, I caught the Swamp Lord as promised. Can I participate in the hunter trial now? Seeing that Aunt Mit didn't reply, Xiaja became more determined to become a hunter. I will definitely become a hunter and find Jin. Li Ziming saw that after Xiaja proved himself to Mit, the Swamp Lord lost its function, but he was very interested in the taste. After all, this fish is not simple. It is almost as big as a monster, and it has shrimp-like hands and feet on its abdomen. I just don't know what it tastes like. Xiaoji, what are you going to do with this fish? Are you going to sell it or let it go? If you are going to sell it, how about selling it to me? When Xiaoji heard Li Ziming's words, he suddenly remembered his identity as a food hunter, and an idea came to his mind. Brother Ziming, can you let me see your craftsmanship? Sure. Li Ziming was also very curious about the taste of the Swamp Lord. After all, among so many time travelers, he had never seen anyone eat it. Maybe it's because it doesn't taste good, so Li Ziming decided to cook it well and taste its flavor. Mit, who was standing by, then noticed Li Ziming and was very confused about who he was. After all, she knew everyone living on Whale Island. Seeing her confusion, Ziyja came to Aunt Mit and told her in detail about the scene they just met and his identity. After hearing this, Mit was also shocked, and then looked at Li Ziming who was holding up the Lord of the Swamp. Could it be that he knew Jin, and was the guide hired by Jin to take Ziyja to be a hunter? Countless thoughts emerged in her mind, but in the end they turned into sighs. No matter what the situation is, I can't stop Ziyja from becoming a professional hunter. Chapter 199. In the evening, Li Ziming carried the Lord of the Swamp and returned to where they lived with little Jamet. Ziyja went to pack his luggage and prepare things for tomorrow's hunter trial, while Li Ziming prepared to start cooking. After simply cleaning up the Swamp Lord, Li Ziming pulled up a tree and strung the Swamp Lord together. Such a big fish is best suited for grilling, which reminds him that when Goku and Bulma first met, they also grilled fish in this way. When I met Toriko and Komatsu, we were also fishing and eating fish together. Ziyja is also fishing now. It turns out that these authors are all fishing enthusiasts. After the fire was on, Li Ziming was ready to start grilling. He brushed on some more oil and waited quietly for it to grill. Turn it over occasionally to avoid burning it, but also to ensure that the whole fish is cooked through and not raw on the inside. While Li Ziming was baking, Mit walked up to him, ready to ask something. Li Ziming, you were sent by Jin. Jin, I don't know you. I was just passing by. On my way to find some delicious food, I stopped by to participate in the hunter trial. Hearing this, Mit felt a little disappointed. If he was sent by Jin, he would have written a letter to Jin. But over the years, she has gotten used to every expectation turning into disappointment. Seeing Mit turning around and leaving, Li Ziming was also very confused, because he really didn't know Jin. If he remembered correctly, King seemed to have sent someone here, who later became Kate from Ant-Man. Li Ziming was wondering whether he should directly destroy the Ant King in the future and let Kate become king, or recapture the Ant King. Let's talk about it later. It's still early. He estimated that the plan has just begun. Li Ziming turned around and started grilling again. Soon, a scent of meat wafted out. A few seconds after the scent appeared, Xiaoji rushed out of the house and came here. Seeing him like this, Li Ziming remembered that this was also a dog's nose. Although not as sensitive as Toriko's, it was better than that of ordinary humans. Is it all right? Is it all right? Is it all right? Don't worry, it'll be here soon. Sprinkle some barbecue ingredients on it, and in a short while, the Swamp Lord was roasted, and the aroma spread throughout the top of the mountain. Upon seeing this, Li Ziming immediately cut a piece of fish and put it into his mouth to taste. His eyes suddenly lit up. It was not bad. The fish skin was crispy and roasted just right. The same goes for the fish meat inside. Not only does it not have any earthy smell, it also has a light salty taste. I think it's because Whale Island is in the sea. The taste is also very firm, not only has the unique freshness of fish, but also the unique sweetness of shrimp, worthy of the taste of Warcraft. Although it is not as good as the food in the gourmet world, it still has its own flavor. At this moment, Xiaoji standing aside couldn't stop drooling, and was obviously very greedy. Not only that, the sound of swallowing saliva could be heard from inside the room. Upon seeing this, Li Ziming immediately ordered the fish to be cut into pieces, and together with Ziyja, they brought the meat into the house, and then took out some vegetables from Vegetable Paradise to eat as side dishes. After sitting down, although Ziyja and the others were greedy, they did not eat immediately. Instead, they began to pray before the meal. Seeing this, Li Ziming naturally knew the habit of Ziyja's family, and then began his own prayer before meals. But this time, having come to a new world, it is time to upgrade my food ethics. To the world, oh no! I would like to express my gratitude to all the ingredients from all dimensions. I am about to eat. After saying that, Li Ziming opened his eyes, and saw Ziyja and the other two were also looking at him. Their eyes were full of satisfaction and desire for food. Let's eat. As soon as these three words came out, Ziyja instantly turned into a glutton and started to eat with relish. Although Mit and mother-in-law were also very tempted, they still chewed slowly. I have to say that the taste of the Swamp Lord is still good, but when the three of them tasted the vegetables that Li Ziming brought, their eyes lit up. It was too delicious. Although Whale Island is surrounded by the sea, it also has vegetables. But they have never eaten such crisp and delicious vegetables. They are so delicious. As they ate, instead of eating the Swamp Lord, the three of them also started to eat the vegetables. Who said that vegetables are not delicious? These vegetables are amazing. In the end, the three of them only ate a little of the whole Swamp King, and the rest was eaten by Ziming. After the meal, several people were full and sat in their chairs to savor the taste of the vegetables. The deliciousness of the vegetables was simply not what the ingredients were supposed to taste like. You are right, this food is definitely not from this world. Seeing them like this, Ziming walked out and simply cleaned them up. After all, for him, these things were just enough to fill the gaps between his teeth. As soon as the barbecue grill was dismantled, Mit came out, bowed to Ziming and said, Xiaoji told me that you guys have formed a team, so please guide him well. I don't expect him to pass the hunter trial, but I hope he can keep his life. Ziming was helpless when he saw Mit begging him like this. Zija was the protagonist, and it would not be so easy for him to die. Can. When Mit heard this, he bowed again. If possible, please stay for one night. There will probably be a boat coming tomorrow, and you can bring Zija with you then. Good. Seeing this scene, Ziming couldn't help but sigh. Although Mit's love for Zija is not her own child, she treats him as her own child. But whether it is or not, who knows? After all, she and Jin are cousins. After cleaning up, Zija came out and took Ziming back to his room to rest so as to prepare for tomorrow's hunter trial. No words were spoken that night. Of course it was still impossible. Xiaoji was like a curious baby. He surrounded the hunter and asked questions all night, which made Ziming very helpless. Finally, she chose to shut him up, and Ziming fell asleep happily. Day 1, End. As the sun rose, the sound of roosters crowing could be heard in the forest, and the entire whale island began to work, catching, cutting, and drying fish. Ziming and Zija also got up and prepared to embark on a new journey. After Zija and Mit said goodbye to each other, a ship appeared at the dock. It was the ship for the hunter exam. As the two boarded the boat, the villagers of Whale Island came to see Zija off. I'll take you 1,000 miles away. Zija, you must become a hunter, find your father, and give him a slap in the face. I know. I will become the world's #1 hunter and find Jin. When Ziming saw this scene, he thought that she was worthy of being the succubus Zija, and was very popular in the village. Watching Zija say goodbye, Ziming turned around and looked at his companions on the boat, all of whom were unimportant people. Except for some uncle reading a magazine. There is also an emo boy with blonde hair looking towards the ocean. The real hunter trial is about to begin. Please give me free gifts, please follow me every day, please give me comments, please pay attention. Thank you very much. Chapter 200. The moment Ziming and Zija boarded the ship, countless people on the ship who were participating in the hunter trial also sneered at the two of them. You're being underestimated. You want to become the world's best hunter? You're such a boaster. Millions of people participate in the hunter trial every year, but only a handful of people can complete the assessment. Don't let your imagination run wild, kid. You're lucky to be alive. Ha 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 ha. After hearing the ridicule from the crowd, Ziming and Xiaoji looked at each other and ignored each other. After all, they were both little karami. How can a sparrow understand the ambition of a swan? The two then prepared to find a place to rest. After all, the real trial was about to begin. Soon they passed by Kurapika and Leorio, but did not stop. It was not the right time yet. Achieved the gold achievement, survivor of the Koluda tribe. Achievement reward, 1000 points. Achieve gold achievement, a reckless doctor who is mature beyond his years. Achievement reward, 1000 points. Kurapika, the special psychic user with fiery red eyes and a survivor of the Kurta tribe, Ziming couldn't help but marvel at the wonder of the second dimension. They all have eyes, they are all red, and they all have abnormal abilities. Isn't this Sasuke? There is also Leorio, a man who aspires to be a doctor. Who would have thought that he, with his stubble and slightly old appearance, is only 19 years old. Later, he defeated Gon's father Jin and won unanimous praise from all hunters, and almost became the president. It is conceivable how annoying Jin is. Now the destined quartet is only missing one white-haired person. When I arrived at the side of the ship, I saw a young sailor being bullied by several old hands, and a box of apples was scattered all over the ground. After Zija and Ziming looked at each other, they also came over to help the sailor. After all, food cannot be wasted. Thanks. While they were helping, the captain on the side scolded the veteran and then started drinking. But at this moment, Zaija discovered something strange, as if a storm was coming. There's a storm coming. Really? What? Xiaoji arrived at the observation deck on the ship with a few easy jumps. He pinched his nose and sniffed. It was definitely the smell of a storm. It's true that a very large storm is coming, the seagulls say so, and I smell it too. Li Ziming was aware of the storm in advance, but the captain noticed something different about Zaija after hearing it. It seems like something similar happened decades ago. Sure enough, after a while, a storm came to the sea area. Soon, the sea area went from calm to numerous waves, which instantly twisted the ship. Except for Li Ziming and the captain, everyone else was seasick. It must be said that the captain's skills were quite impressive as he was able to steer the boat out of danger in such stormy weather. As expected, he is a trial taker hired by the Hunter Guild. When the captain came down to check how many people could pass the test, he found that most of them were wiped out, especially those who had gossiped before, who vomited bile. On the contrary, Zaija also cares about them very much. Being kind-hearted, he even provides everyone with herbs to alleviate their condition. The captain was also very satisfied when he saw this scene, especially when he saw Kurapika's leisurely look and Li Oreo eating an apple, he was very satisfied. But he always felt like someone was missing. At this moment, Li Ziming appeared. He had just gone to the kitchen to grill some meat and just came back. The moment Li Ziming came back, the rich aroma of meat spread throughout the cabin, attracting everyone's attention. Those who were seasick opened their eyes with great effort and looked at the barbecue in Li Ziming's hands. This meat is so delicious. Yes, what Li Ziming grilled was the beef from the gourmet world. Thinking of eating it with Zaija, I couldn't get some with a high capture level. It is still necessary to start from a low level to allow the cells in the body to adapt. White-haired Cinderella cow, mammal capture level 1 and below. After smelling the aroma of meat, everyone stopped feeling seasick and looked at the beef in his hand, including Li Oreo and Kurapika. Li Ziming smiled when he saw them drooling, and then put the large piece of barbecue in the cabin. Let's eat together. There's plenty anyway. Very good. Everyone cheered instantly, especially the three protagonists, who immediately came to Li Ziming and tasted the barbecue together. The captain who saw this scene was also amazed at the taste of the barbecue. Even those gourmet hunters had never seen such a fragrant barbecue cooked. This young man is not simple. Give me one too. Fortunately, Li Ziming roasted a lot of food, almost several dozen kilograms, so everyone could taste these delicacies. The moment they ate the beef, everyone was so moved that they burst into tears. It was so delicious. Barbecue, super delicious barbecue. I have never eaten such delicious barbecue. Help! The skin of the roasted meat is baked golden and crispy, but the inside is full of gravy and contains collagen like pig's trotters. You will feel more beautiful after eating it. Why should I eat such delicious barbecue? What should I do if I can't eat it in the future? Seeing everyone crying and laughing, Li Ziming was speechless for a while, but it made sense. After all, ordinary people in this world eat ordinary ingredients and have basically never eaten Warcraft. There are few professional hunters and even fewer gourmet hunters. Only those with status and those who use Nen have the opportunity to eat monster meat. Compared to ordinary people crying bitterly, Gon, Kurapika and Li Oreo recovered quickly. Gon was one of them and had a look of admiration on his face. Kurapika and Li Oreo also realized the value of the barbecue, and the vigilance in their eyes turned into friendliness after they finished eating the barbecue. Then they took the initiative to come over, thank Li Ziming for the delicious food, and introduce themselves. I'm Kurapika. Thank you for the barbecue. It's delicious. I'm Li Oreo. This is delicious, bro, you're an amazing cook. I'm Li Ziming. As long as it suits your taste, it's all good. My work is not in vain. I'm Zaija. Sure enough, the first step in making friends in another world is to capture their stomachs, and then capture their hearts. At this moment, the captain on the side was very satisfied when he saw this scene, but the necessary procedures still had to be followed. You guys, come with me.
If you're enjoying the story so far and want to hear the next parts, don't forget to like the video. It really helps the channel grow. And if you'd like me to continue the series, drop a comment below letting me know. Your feedback and support keep these audiobooks going strong. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next one.